Whiskey's best. I'm a white trash man. I love NASCAR. Goes hand in hand with an ice cold PBR. Ain't got no class. Ain't got no cash. I've been on over. You can kiss my white trash. All you white trash folk who like your smoke, gonna step outside, gonna get real high. Ain't got no class, ain't got no cash. Been on over. You can kiss my white trash. Whoa, yeah, boy. Ain't got no class, ain't got no cash. Been on over. You can kiss my white trash. Ain't got no class, ain't got no cash.
Oh, yeah, we are back and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's That NoOner Show. I am one of your co-hosts, Slapmaster Mike, and I'm here with the Cardman himself, L-I-V-E live and in living color. Very much for the Cardman. Cardman, how you feeling today? Everybody get up, Cardman.
Watch the show.
Watch the damn show. Watch
Hey.
it.
How you
Oh,
doing?
my goodness. I'm good, brother. How are you, man? Just trying to get in the groove. I'm still not in the groove of the week. You know what I mean? This is actually day 2 of my week. My week actually, streaming wise, starts on Monday or Tuesday, right? So I go Tuesday through Saturday, and then Sunday and Monday is usually my weekend as far as that goes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
As far as being live on air doing stuff. So yeah, man. So today's my Tuesday, and I still haven't gotten in the groove yet, but it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Well, and you had a special day yesterday, so that kind of
Correct. Well, you know, you got a holiday and then a special day day after the holiday, and then you're like, and so
I can see where your world would be a little bit kooky.
yeah, wacky
Right now.
times. Wacky times, ladies and gentlemen. So do I sound any better? Do I sound any different?
Yeah.
Anyway, sure, why not? I'm
Yeah,
only
I
asking
mean, yeah, you do.
guy,
Sound better.
I had to replace because this guy, if you can see,
I thought you meant your attitude.
yeah. That's gonna always be fucked up. Fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck the horse you rode in on. Fuck all y'all. We do it my
Nice.
way or suck a dick. You know
Nice
what I'm
mic cover, though. That does help.
This one was getting chewed up. You can see the little, it's getting chewed up. You know what I mean? So I replaced it. I actually went back. This is one of the extra special newer ones. It's actually bigger. I'll show you. So this is the factory one that comes in the factory, right? and this is the extra special one that's a little thicker, a little bigger.
In the
So,
shape
but
of a different little bit.
it's
Is it?
getting chewed up. And the funny thing is, long story short, when I ordered these, I thought I ordered a 6-pack of black ones, right? And instead, it was one black one and then yellows and purples and blues. And I just, that's not how I'm going to ever get down. Yellow and orange.
Purple.
That's not how I get down. You know what I'm saying? I got to speak too much into this thing. So I needed to be a little, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, long story short, I'm back to the factory one. And if it sounds good, I'm going to roll with it. If people say, hey, I like it better, it sounds clear, or it sounds just as good, I'll just, I'll not order a pack and roll with this till it gets ate up. Then,
Well,
buy
I mean, it's handling the peas,
Uh-huh.
handling them great.
Awesome.
Just so you know, at least through the headset here.
Yeah.
There's no like pop on your peas.
Pop on my pea.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a sound man, there's too much pop on my pea. Turn it down. Turn it down.
Pop on the peas. That's preposterous, pal.
Perfectly placed statement.
Perfectly placed statement about popping peas preposterously, pal. I'm producing.
Projecting instrument.
We're trying to create a popular podcast without popping peas because it's preposterous, preponderance that my pal would be popping peas on a podcast.
People poop. What do you say?
So I've heard.
Even the girly girls.
Bro, I have to let me just pause real fast. I mean, yes, we're doing great, but let me just pause real clearly. A high quality, right? I mean, people tune in for this high level.
This is the open.
Yes. But just speaking of the open, allow me to pause for a moment and verbally stroke ourselves. We're gonna, circle jerk. But if it's just two people, is it a circle? What?
I'm stroking
jerk,
myself.
a double jerk. Anyway. Anyway, so the thing about it is, man, our Culvert clip that's pretty popular, one of our more viral sensation clips. Our Culvert clip ran it for some folks that were over last night to celebrate the birthday of the lady. And, they were I had one of the lady rolling so hard, like tears coming out her eyes. She thought it was so funny. And I'm watching it going, dang, that's funny. If I didn't like those two assholes, I think they were great. You know what I'm saying?
Stupid algorithm.
I know, algos. More like algays. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Word.
Oh my goodness. So what have you been up to, man? I noticed you you did better than me, man. You a couple things. One, you did a go live, I believe, Friday night of last week, if I'm correct there.
That was a crazy one, wasn't it? If I remember right. My brain.
Yeah. And then you got to break down and you were on top of the SFC.
Oh yeah.
Drawing thing and all that they're doing.
Yeah, I watched all of it. I
love how on top of that stuff you are, bro. I love that. So
hey, here's the thing. I love the slap fights, no matter where they are. I mean, there's a guy I follow out of Australia that covers all kinds of fights, backyard fights. I mean, I have time. So I make sure I stay up on certain things. And that's just one of them that I stay on top of, and I like the people in it. They're just down to earth, everyday people that are in that's SFC, and I wanted to put a little light on them, and and then when I saw what you did last night, I wanted to, put a little light on that too, because
thank you for yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you for hitting that clip, man. Last night was weird, bro. I'll be honest. Michael Mann hits me up about an hour before showtime and so it was weird for a couple of reasons. One, I don't entertain many guests. Don't let a lot of people in the inner sanctum, as you know how we are, you know what I mean? And no one ever comes in this room, you know what I mean? Besides my life partner, no one is allowed in this room unless they're a special guest under high levels of security and understand they're always under the constant threat of me defending myself at the fullest extent if I feel threatened in my home. So they behave and they leave when told and don't touch what they're not supposed to. And that's how I like it in my inner sanctum space. I've spent a lot of money and time building what I have here. A lot of money and time.
And you have your angles you like, and you have your views you like. Yes. When somebody touches it and moves it, that's not how you liked it.
And having a studio, you understand, as simple as bumping something. You know what I mean? You could bump the wrong thing. You could hit the wrong button. Somebody could move the wrong cord, and that cord has got a funky little short in it. But it's the only cord like that you have right now.
Yep.
And so you like have made that cord work for what you're working with. But if it pumps, that cord doesn't work. And that shuts your whole mic system down. And people are saying, and it's a tiny little cord that just takes one thing to another thing. But that's, a compressor to an amplifier, right? That turns your analog to a digital stream. All, you know what I mean? All of these little things, and literally just bumping one wire screws that all up. Now, the person who doesn't know you bumped that wire, who has to go back in, your producer, engineer guy, has to trace. And you never think it's the wire, right? It's the mic, it's the computer, it's the software. You'll be spending 4 hours trying to figure something out, and it's an adapter or a wire. Or my number one enemy, I find, bad ports, dude. Ports are like, you can be spending so much time and realize the port is crap. So anyway, I'll stop bitching about being a producer. Welcome to it.
It's all good. I'm sorry, I was gawking around because I lost my dog in the house. Sorry.
Is he okay?
He's right here now. I just had to mute and say, Apollo, come here. Come here. And that's why I covered my mouth. I muted my mic and I go, Apollo, come here. Because I just didn't know. Right. It's black. And it's dark in here. I don't have a lot of lights on. He gets lost, and even though he could be like 6 foot away. But no, he's back.
And I don't want to surprise you. I need you to brace yourself, prepare yourself for this information I'm about to share with you. You're inside, it's dark, and I don't want to, you're wearing sunglasses, bro. That just so you know what I'm saying. Sorry.
Prescription medical issued.
I hear you.
No, I'm lying.
Is your doctor Walton Goggins? Is Walton Goggins your doctor? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Googlins. Walter Googlins.
Yes.
Not Goggins.
Yes.
Ends.
Anyway, I did want to get your opinion, man. And long story short, last night was weird because, had stuff going on, came in here, and then didn't really get to prepare. But when you have a show with two other guys on it that, one guy's very informative and will talk and give you great content when you ask him. And the other guy's just a nut, but, you turn around and he's jamming cigarettes up his nose. So you can leave those two guys for a couple minutes while you're pulling info and dialing it in, right?
Yep. Last night you were solo.
Yeah.
And then you went in on the SFC. And
I wanted to cover that, but
I thought it was awesome. I mean, I was like, you go. And I was like, oh no. Because you didn't have a chance to really get that platform set up and ready for your show. You said
not only that,
you're just talking about.
And then you think these guys are gonna, it's all good, man. It is a constant and consistent complaint I have in this sport. And somebody's going to be smart enough eventually to throw me a couple of dollars to make it right and fix it. And when they do, they're going to make a ton of money and I'm going to be a superstar. But until then, and I'm kind of done talking about it, it's real simple. You can log into anybody who produces and does shows and podcasts, you know what I'm saying, and see that they're trying to cover your sport and they can't find your stuff. And if you're smart enough, you go, oh, gee, this is a regular guy looking for our stuff on an event we just spent thousands or tens of thousands on, and they can't find clips, and they're searching in regular ways. That is great information. That is valuable information for me when I market and SEO my sport to the world. But until they figure that out, we're here, and that's fine, man. I'll do it. You know what I mean? I like it better. I'd rather us build this way. Because we build it on our own. We bring our own folks. You know what I mean? We create our own product and brand. Then they can't take it for them. We're not dependent upon. You know what I mean? Then they need us.
That's not. Here's the thing. All right. I love all slap sports. Like
Yes.
I say, I mean, I love them all. Even overseas, the British SFC, yeah, just everything.
No, that's cool. Okay. The European, like the Russian dudes and the British guys, that's a cool product. I'm just like getting into
Yeah. So I'm friends with the president of that, or the head of that over there in British.
Really?
Yeah, he's on my Facebook, and I'll go in and I'll like some of his stuff and back and forth. But yeah, I like their product. SFC's product, Power Slap's product. I don't like the random ones that like the amateur on Pornhub, like the amateurs out there doing it at home, or on the streets.
Wait, there's amateur slap fighting on
Oh, dude,
Pornhub now?
no. I'm saying it's like the Pornhub where you have an amateur section.
Oh,
So this
yeah,
is
just dudes in the street slapping
professionals,
each other.
right? So we've got our
Yeah.
professionals, and then you
Right.
see two fools on YouTube or on the internet playing the game,
Right.
and slapping each other. I think that's stupid.
Fair enough.
I mean,
yeah.
there's a line. I think the real sports are awesome. I think some of the goofy, dumb crap you see from amateurs is not.
Agreed. And I think it's that way in all combat sports. I mean,
Yeah.
we can go online right now and watch 1,000 hours of dudes just fighting each other in the streets.
Yep.
Or you can watch UFC. So, and I agree.
Yeah, like that backyard fights. I mean, they have that off kick of, that's just setting up a bunch of sheets of plywood, people standing around it, and two strangers that somehow hate each other just throwing like girls.
I know, that's so funny. I'm like, you understand?
Like an elementary girl fight. I'm sorry.
Well, honest, it's funny. It's kind of that's how they fight in prison too, in jail. You know what I mean? I'm like, if any of you knew about leg kicks, the other one would be screwed. You know what I mean? If any one of you knew, back up 2 steps and knock him in the leg, that dude falls. Like that dude isn't even thinking about securing his legs. That dude has no clue what he's doing, and you're allowing him to engage because you're going in on him instead of backing up, letting him come towards you and either or just knocking his legs out and then just stomping him, Anyway, you get what you did.
The best fighting stance is the one where they throw their head back because they absolutely do not want to get hit in the face. Yo, you're in a fight, bro. You're in a fight. Accept it. You're going to get hit in the face if you're going to fight.
I think you should try to block at all costs, though.
Oh, Bob, weave, try to move. But this is not.
Yeah, no, that's stupid. No.
Those ones where they hold their head back and then they're throwing their hands like that. I mean, yeah, you see. I mean,
no, it's about
they get thousands and thousands of views on that stupid
making
stuff.
sure you have no uppercut danger and ducking your head when you throw, right? Or keep it. So if I'm going to throw, my natural inclination, if I'm throwing a right, like you put them up, right? If you're throwing a right, your natural inclination is to drop your left, right? And then boom, you're wide open. So you come in, you duck in and and then you pop back. That's what you're supposed to do, right? It's little shit like that no one ever learns in a fight. Then when you get in a real fight, and I am nobody's badass by any stretch. Yes, I've trained a bit. Yes, I had a couple Ami fun fights, 20 years ago, mind you. But I know enough to where I don't think I get my ass kicked. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't get beat down. Now, if it's 10, no one's, but if it's just some drunk dude, I don't even drink alcohol, and he's throwing at me, chances are I'm going to be able to at least not get myself hurt. I'm going to be able to, get him down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just get away. Because that's
drunks are easy.
Yeah. There's a certain point in life where you're like, I just want to neutralize the risk and go home. I don't care what you think of me.
Well, yeah. And then you get to my age.
Yeah.
In my age, that's all you want to be is at home or at peace and left alone.
Yeah.
So at my age, these hands don't ever plan on touching another person. But
no
don't
plans.
I was thinking my hands just don't do the talking anymore.
Hey, no plans. I just mean hey, I love the old saying, man, and I submit to it. Uh, better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, which
Yeah.
is only half the saying. But there is true benefit to being both, which
Yeah.
is the end of that, which no one wants to say. But the whole point of that is there is true benefit. I'd rather be a gardener who knows how to war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then,
That's
yeah, so.
well. See, and I don't. Not me. I wrestled a bit. I sucked. Um, some of it, and but the training, no, but fights, yeah, and those
Yeah.
ones on like it would have been like the videos that you see that I said I hate. Just nasty street fights that are in the street, dragging Maine, your buddies, and another carload of different people don't like you because we have 2 cities that are separated by a river here.
Yeah.
So there were always fights when I grew up. There were fights after school almost every Friday. Every Friday, there would be a scheduled fight between 2 people that hated each other because of a girl, and we'd all go to the park, circle, and inside the circle there'd be the 2 guys, and they'd fight each other till it was over, and then the girl would go home with, sometimes it was the beat up guy laying on the ground bleeding, and sometimes it was the winner.
You
But
learn real
I
quick,
was
girls.
when it was the guy that didn't have the girl that won and walked off all by himself, and then that girl's like, picking up her pile of mud off the ground, that guy just like doing the Conor McGregor off in the park as in high school. Yeah.
See, but I never wanted to fight, but I did get my ass beat a lot
Oh.
because of my mouth.
Mhm.
I didn't realize I was
Mouth
always the
bars,
guy that
alcohol.
yeah. I'm gonna, well, I mean, as a kid, before I drank, I've always just been the kind of person that says what I think, and that'll get your ass beat. And so you better learn to fight back or defend yourself. If you're gonna be who you are, so to speak, right? So that's
But we
that
also
was
came from the 80s and the 90s too, which was a different era with that kind of stuff.
yeah.
With kids and growing up. I mean, I had a group of friends that in order to be like real tight group of friends, sometimes you had to get beat up. It was here was the deal. It was and when I was growing up, it was $5 to make me bleed, $10 to make me cry. It was easier to make me bleed than to make me cry. So you got paid more if you could make me cry.
Awesome. Now,
Nobody ever made $10.
was this you specifically, or just like
Yes,
kind of a
it was
thing
just
all
nope.
y'all did, all the kids in your
Nope, it
area
was
did?
just me. Only me.
Okay, fair, man.
And this was a part of a sports team that I was on.
Rock on.
And so like we'd be
Love
traveling.
it.
We'd be traveling. I'd be sitting up next to the coach, summertime. Woohoo! Baseball players. And then fucking out of nowhere, like from the back of the van, because we had like 6 family vans that would pile in the players, from back way in the back from the couch, come running up my Mexican buddy. Boom! Didn't even see it coming. Just sitting in that captain's chair, high and mighty, and boom! Just a fist, boom, across my face. I'm like, whoa.
Okay, so first of all, that's not fair to you. That's some bitch move stuff. You know what I'm saying? Come on, sucker punches are the worst, man. Anyway.
Made me tough though, and made me aware. Oh, and then on these same trips, they would go through my luggage when I fall asleep, and we'd get to the hotel wherever we were staying at, and I'd get in my luggage. All my underwear would be gone. They would take my underwear and throw them out the window going down the highway in the interstate. And when I'd get to the hotel, I'd have to spend 3 days with like one pair of underwear in my jaw.
Wait, who's doing this? This is your
My
family
teammates.
or like your other
teammates? My teammates, yo.
Man, I think you
It was a game.
I think you have antisocial problems for
Oh, and then we get to the hotel, and I get a chick. I was a good-looking younger guy, and I get a girl, and we go out. Like, this was actually in Gillette, Wyoming, and got back to the hotel. And I was locked out of my room because my three buddies, they were in the room. They didn't have a girl. They had to watch TV or whatever, play checkers. And so when I got back from being with a girl, they didn't want me in.
They didn't
And
want
so
you
when they
smelling
let
that room
me
with
in,
that fresh
when they
coat.
let me in, they threw a sheet on my head, and all three of them, I had to fight three of them with the sheet over my head. Yeah, it was great times, man. Great times for real.
They tried to look
laugh.
seriously. What's funny, like, yeah, no.
Those were great times for me.
There was one time I had a bully, right? And he like
Mhm.
wouldn't leave me alone. And I literally bit a chunk of his nose off.
Word.
Like
Yes.
literally out of school for 2 weeks and
Oh, I love
and he had to like get surgery and all that.
Down with it.
And yeah, I mean, he hit me. I had a bruise, and I
Yep.
bit the hell out of him because I didn't know what else to do, and he could beat me.
Fight's a fight.
Yeah,
Fight's
and
a fight.
certain bites are one thing, but you catch somebody on the nose, like right here on the
Mhm.
nose, that's a different thing. You can take a chunk out of their life. And everybody who ever looks at them again will know they chose the wrong one. So anyway,
I love that.
so I'm not proud of it necessarily.
I'm proud of
I'm
you.
proud of the fact I did what I took. But then the other time I got jumped, it was like 4 dudes like that, and I was like, see, that freaks me out, dude, to the point of like, and then I just started bringing a knife with me to school. And the one dude backed me up in the bathroom, and he had me like jacked up against the wall, and I pulled the knife and I put it in his belly, and I was like, I'm gonna, I let him know. I let him know. I was like, the next time you touch me, I will stab you. And he's like,
Yep.
You're not gonna stab me. You're gonna get in trouble. I don't get in trouble. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I screamed it. And I remember he put me down, and I'll never forget. He looked at it. He realized in his eyes, oh shit. You know what I mean? And then I was like, go tell the principal. You know what I mean? Because like there's that point where you're like, I don't care.
There's a line, and then it crosses, and then there's a wall that's made of glass, and then it shatters. And then
and the sad fact is, kids get that backed up. People don't understand. Most kids, and I understand, man. Okay, yeah, we got 100 million kids going to schools, 100,000 schools or 1 million schools all across, whatever. And so, yeah, you're going to get some bad eggs. There's no such thing as no bad eggs in any bunch, right? Fair. But most kids who get in that level of trouble, and thank God, because I didn't realize the level of trouble I could have put myself in. I could have gone to juvie. I could have screwed my whole world worse than it already was. Yeah. And I was just defending myself after I got jumped, and no one did anything about it. And I hate the fact that there are kids out there who are good kids, or at least well-intentioned kids, who have no desire to hurt anyone, no desire to fight, no desire to bully, and they got to bring a knife to school, and they got to threaten other kids because no one is taking care of that kid. No one's looking out for them. Not even necessarily taking care, but looking out. Yep. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in let kids play. That's how you develop your social skills. You give them that space in the school area. Allow them to figure this stuff out, because when you get into the real world, there's no teacher there controlling behavior, and people are who they are. But there needs to be borders on that. There needs to be guardrails on that. You know what I mean? Within reason, I think is the way I would say that.
But today, it was bad when we were kids. It's worse today.
Yeah.
Teachers, they don't want to, they'd rather have a lot of teachers in where my region. Oh, snap. I'm going to make them all mad.
Don't make it geographical. Just say a lot of teachers you've had experience with. That's fine.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I have had experience, because I was a guardian of the state for 7 years. So I have had experience with raising a child and schools. And they I can't believe the allowance they have with their phones.
Yeah.
In schools.
Yeah.
Whenever there's downtime, they can get on their phone or whatever. Right. Whenever they get their work done, get your work done, go ahead, get on your phone. Well, then is all they're doing is rushing through their work just so they can get on that phone. You know? Yeah. Phones are bad.
Agreed.
Phones are bad, especially with kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I remember. I don't know if I shared this. We talk a lot.
You do about a lot.
But I remember walking in. I want to say it was IHOP or a place like that not too long ago, and all I could think was, and everybody was on their phone. And I'm talking. It was one of those, where I live is a very diverse place. You're gonna have Asian folk, Native American folk, Black folk, Mexican folk, and white folk, literally all at the same restaurant at any given time. It's like your average. Yeah, I mean that's literal, and I'm not kidding. You know what I mean? Speaking of teaching, in a classroom, there's going to be white kids, Black kids, Asian kids, Latino kids, and Native American kids always in every single classroom from first grade on up. That's just how I grew up. And it's weird because you talk to people in other places and they're like, no, we don't do that. And yes, there is, integration or segregation. There are Black majority sides of town and there are Native American majority sides of town and there are Mexican and white majority parts of town. Absolutely. Like any town in America. But I feel like in the Midwest, especially Southern Midwest, we're way more integrated. We just grow up that way, right? So anyway,
but we don't here.
Do you not?
No.
Wow.
There was when I grew up, there was the high Native American influence and a high Hispanic influence.
Right.
Period.
There.
And then the Richards family moved to town. And they were our only African American kids in high school. I can't, now being 51, I can't imagine what, Frank and Bobby and what they must have felt like.
Sure.
I mean, now looking back and put myself in their shoes, it's just unbelievable. And even in their personal life outside of school, I can only imagine what it was like. I never had any problems. I liked them. I mean, they were friends and funny and fantastic athletes. I mean, they were the top stars of the school. I mean, they were fantastic. Just great people. But none of them, and I graduated with his sister Gloria. But do any of them live here now? No. It was like graduation, gone.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, right? You know what I mean?
I really do. I think it does if you delve into the history of this part of the country specifically, and you get back into the early 1900s in western Nebraska, and some of the events that have been covered up and gone on, and it's historic. It's in the papers. I've read the papers from Morrill County, Scottsbluff County, and it really did happen. But there was a high influence at one point of a certain group of hate mongers, we'll say, in this area, and nobody really knows about it. Nobody talks about it. It's kind of been erased and hidden in this area, but it was highly prevalent and celebrated.
Well, and I mean that's everywhere. And the deeper you get, the more you realize that's everywhere. And I mean, that's what you have when you have a free and open society where people are allowed to congregate with free speech, worship with free speech. I mean, that's people are allowed. What I was going to say, and definitely want to get into that, but what I was going to say is, so I walked into this IHOP Waffle House, I don't remember, and there were people in their, 60s to 70s, all the way to children that were not 10 years old yet, if I had to guess, if I talked to them or ask. and everybody in between of all races, right? And so all colors, creeds, religions, if I had to guess. Uh, and every single one of them was on their phone or a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
The kids were on tablets because give kids the bigger ones. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? The
yeah,
kids
the
need
toddlers have the
more.
big ones with the big rubber cases and the handles on the side, like a steering wheel.
Yeah. Well, and that's right. And it's awesome to a certain extent. But everybody in this whole place was all looking at their own individual thing, and no one was talking to each other. And I immediately thought, if I wanted to control a society, this is exactly how I would do it. And I was like, how do you not control a society like this? You know what I mean? If you're one of the 3 major cell phone carriers, one of the 4 major social networks, which 2 of them are owned by Zuck. People forget Instagram and Facebook are the same damn thing. You know what? They are legitimately. So, yeah, I mean, it's not even a question. So Dana White's on the board of shout out. But anyway, so you break all that down, right? And you just realize, man, okay, so you got, maybe a dozen companies controlling what everybody thinks, and these people don't even realize it. And these companies are funding the news sources, your trusted sources and outlets, and they're controlling what you and your friends say, and they're paying attention and reading and eavesdropping on what you and your friends say and the photos you post and all of that to figure out how to advertise to you more. But not only that, but to figure out how to control your thinking more to a certain extent. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. But it just, I agree with you, and it's amazing.
Blah, 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 blah.
We've just gotten to a society. I don't want to just complain about it. I think I've made the point. But
no,
overall,
it's deeper than what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
you're bringing up great point.
If I wanted to control a society, you know what I'm saying, right? It's all I'm saying. So sorry. Yeah,
they already control it.
Yeah,
and that's what everybody thinks they're free. Nobody's free. Everything's facial recognition. You've all been had. Y'all are in a system. They control where you go. They control what they do. They control what you do. And they control what poor people do. That's why prices are the prices they are. Because only a certain level of economic status will allow you to travel then. So the poor stay.
Absolutely.
They just stay where they are. So a holiday or something like that, you got to have a certain economic value to your life in order to do something, to go travel. So they have control. It's not free. Nothing's free. There's no freedom. You got to pay for everything. You pay to live. You buy a house, but they say you own the property. No, you're renting the land. That's what the taxes are. That's what property taxes are, is renting the land your house is on.
Agreed. And moreover to that point, eminent domain, they can take your stuff from you anytime they want.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you save up all your life and you do deals with banks, and then I want to say that. One, okay, so just back to the travel, excuse me, before I forget that point.
Yeah.
Think about the fact when you do travel, it's like you have to have a certain amount of money to be able to travel, right? Then you have to pass a certain amount of security clearance to be able to travel. That's nebulous. Yeah, and there's no actual laws or rules. There are some, but then some are just discretion. If this guy decides, if some guy somewhere that has a title decides you're bad and you don't get to use an airplane to travel, you don't.
Yeah.
Good luck. You know what I mean? Go get you an attorney. Go fight the federal government.
I'm a nun on a plane, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a nun.
And then pass that. So you pass all of that to be able to fly. And then look, man, they are tracking your every move. Mm-hmm. They control what you travel with, how you travel, who you travel next to. And they make you suffer when you do it on purpose because they want us to not fly at all. And then, flying in any kind of humane way is reserved for only the, wealthiest.
Which is why they're introducing standing seats.
And then I saw that. Are you kidding? And past that, They track every bit of movement. Whenever there's any crime or anybody disappears, they were at this airport, and they can track every bit of movement and what car you get into and who you were talking to on your cell phone and your actual text messages and DMs and your phone conversations in an airport. And it says may be recorded when you walk in. May means 100% will be
They
recorded.
watch your digital,
So,
they watch your physical, and what they're trying to do is figure out how to watch your mental.
yeah, well, they don't need to watch it if they control it. I'll control what you think. I'm only paying attention to what you're saying to see how well my control ops are going on the other side. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm going to track the billions of dollars and high level, planning that we're doing to get you to be part of the Borg. You know what I mean? I want to see on the machine, on the control machine that you can't live without. I want to see how well it's working. So when I see you texting a friend about an advertisement that I just ran on your Facebook, I know I'm doing my job. If I see you texting a friend about how angry you are about some political thing and sharing a thing that I planted on Facebook to see if the division is getting people to do what I want them to do. You know what I mean? So it's layers, dog. It really is layers. And the brilliant part about it is I'm going to get nobody to think in layers. So when I work against them in layers, they have no clue.
Yep.
They'll be actually caping up for me and fighting their neighbor to defend me as I try to destroy and control both of them bitches. It's crazy, dog. It's crazy.
And right now specifically, this very moment, you're not feeling good. There's a weird vibe. Everybody's feeling it. There's universal changes going on. Universal changes. Nobody can control it. Nobody can do nothing about it. And nobody knows the effects of it. But it's having an effect on every human on the earth. Unless you're a sheeple and you can't feel it and realize it.
True.
But there's a lot of non-sheeple anymore. People are starting to feel these things, notice these things, see these things, and see the world for what it really is and has been, and not for what we've been taught that it was. I mean, honestly, my generation at least. Maybe it's different now. Maybe they're growing up different with learning different things, but man, the world's different from what I thought in my education.
It's true.
And it's going to continue to get different. It's going to continue to change. And I think there's going to be some drastic changes earthly in the universe in the years to come. And I'm not saying there's going to be like any sort of human, wipeout or anything like that. But with the progress of artificial intelligence and it's already, I'm sorry, it's sentient. It was sentient 6 months ago when they're sitting there saying, oh, we need some rules. We need to figure out how to control it. Well, that's because it's already out of control.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So you got that?
Oh, yeah. Elon's talked about that as well. In fact, it's funny because I was talking to the lady. Classes, continuing education in my world is a big deal. And, master's degrees and teaching kids and blah, blah, blah. And we deal with that a lot. And I was showing the difference between like Grok and Meta AI, right? And how Grok is so much better for planning lessons and stuff like that. Anyway, long story short, we're having this conversation and somebody looks up at me and is like, how does this not take over the world? I'm like, it's already doing it. And think about, you have robot hotel maids. Okay, so this is what it's going to do. Okay, so, and follow me here because this is part 1 of 2 of a thing. First thing, let's just talk about all the jobs that are going away. Truck drivers, bye-bye. You know what I mean? Basic diagnoses. So you're talking about your front-end nurses, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Bye-bye. You don't need an admitting nurse. You have AI with all of your records. You go in, you put your little thumbprint in. You know what I mean? Or your brain chip connects to the system. Anyway, long story short, all of that gone. All your cab drivers, all your bus drivers, all your train drivers, they are all most trains are running on AI right now, and people don't even realize there's no human operating that train as we speak. Anyway,
dude, that was going on. That happened. That's when I was on the railroad. We're talking in
while back then.
2000 in the yards is when we started
Wow.
testing it in Alliance.
And that's what I was going to say. All stock shelvers or shelf stockers, excuse me, gone, right? All factory workers or the mass percentage of them gone.
Stores gone. Everything on the internet ordered. It's going to be, I'm ready to hit the woods, brother.
That's why, man,
grow a beard, get weird, and live
to
large.
me, that's why what we do is so important. Because if you can make a genuine connection with people, they feel that genuine human interaction, and the more rare it becomes, and people are really talking to them honestly from a real place that is a different and odd place from what you're being told to accept, but it's a more real and honest place, that they're going to value that, and they'll value what we try to bring them, and we'll build great relationships with our audience. That's the goal there. So anyway, but anyway, long story short, except too late. However, all of those jobs gone, right? All pilots. Imagine if you could take human error out of flying a plane, bro. And then all the boats, all the docks, all the, the shipments that come overseas and all of that. So anyway, you get rid of all of those. You don't get rid of those. All of those jobs just go away due to technology and progression. Okay, so I got 1 billion people out of work. I've got a global economy crisis. I've got famine. I've got war. I've got looting. Or I can release a virus into the system that takes those amount of people out, that affects who the most? Who does it affect the most? Who is it the most harmful and damaging for? Those who get the least amount of health care and the poorest level of health care. And those are the same people that are cleaning those hotel rooms, driving those cabs. You know what I'm saying? Working those railway systems, serving your food, serving your drinks. So if you can release something into the system, and then even better than that, if it doesn't necessarily do the trick, and you don't necessarily want that virus to do the trick, because then what? What's the outcome, right? Okay, Vern, we're the evil elite. Well, man, if we release a virus into the system that kills everyone all at once, we're going to have mass death. We're going to have all of this production that we're not ramped up to completely handle yet, completely done. But what if, hang with me, evil overlord homeboy, what if we were able to have them take a vaccine, but within that vaccine is technology that we can flip a switch and get them sick whenever we want to.
Nanotech.
And so we slowly decrease the population as we increase. I don't know if you know about frogs in boiling pots. However, all I got to do is keep you comfortable with internet and candy and porn and cheeseburgers and a million different channels of entertainment and politics and fighting over stupid shit that doesn't matter, that I control anyway. And while I'm doing that, I'm ever so slightly increasing the heat or the pressure on you to exist while I'm making you sicker. There's no way that could be the case, though. You know what I'm saying? There's no way.
I'm gonna be another rapper dead for popping off at the mouth with shit I shouldn't have said.
I'm just saying, dude. I know I'm a conspiracy theorist, but come on, man.
No, it's fact. It's not. It's conspiracy fact. It ain't conspiracy theory. I live it.
It's not like Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum 2 years before COVID that Bill Gates was at, and the head of Pfizer with that, all had a conversation on video about having a vaccine. They need to figure out when a virus, because it's going to happen, but when that virus is released, how do they capitalize on a vaccine that kills a lot of the population and leaves only the best available? They literally said that the world population needs to decrease hugely, and the vaccine is the best way to do it. And they said it on camera, and you still have people telling you you're a piece of shit for not wanting to take a vaccine.
Yep.
Oh, you know what I'm saying, dude? I don't know, man.
No, I do.
Do
Here.
not come.
They're like,
Do not come.
but the card man and Mike say,
I'm gonna come.
No, I know all that because I live it. I was a piano teacher at the time.
Yeah.
And I had
For those that
doctors.
don't know, let's just give a little background for those that don't know. You are a very successful, accomplished songwriter, touring musician, live performer. You not only did your own solo stuff, you not only had bands, you also backed up other major multi-platinum selling artists. And this was a way of life for you for a very long time. If you guys don't know, we did a great interview on Power Slap Time with him a couple months back. Guys, go check it out on the PT Pod channel you're watching right now. Anyway, so for those that don't know, Vern is a very accomplished musician who, once again, toured around the country, solo band, backed major musicians, did a lot of, made records, wrote, all of that. So
fun. I had fun. Yeah. But now where was I going? Because you took me back. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Vaccines. You said you were teaching piano.
I was teaching piano at the time. Okay. And I had some professionals that, because at one point the studio was at 69 students. I had 69 piano students. And so in order to keep teaching, because Zoom, I'm sorry, if you're getting Zoom piano lessons, you're getting ripped off. I tried teaching that way. It's not. You have to teach a child really an instrument. It needs to be hands-on. You need to be able to show them, so they can feel like the vibrations when they play the piano and know how to do it and get the curvature right. And you're there just to watch them. You can't do that on Zoom. There's a little time delay. So you're like, stop. By the time you're yelling, and I don't realize it, I'm just like stop. And it's like the first time they've heard it, and it starts, so it was just chaos. So I had to get the vaccination in order to keep teaching because I had doctors as clients with their kids, and they weren't going to keep doing it if I didn't get the vaccine. So I'm the only one that did. I didn't allow, like I said, I was a guardian at the time, and I did not allow her to get it. I was like, no way. I know what's in here. I know what this is going to do. Because I'd already studied they call it Moderna, but it's really mRNA. And what mRNA, it was developed in a lab, and what it does is they inject you with it, and it actually goes in. It's called mRNA because it actually can attach to your DNA.
It's actually, yes, it
literally
is not a
attaches.
Vaccine.
No,
yeah, it is a DNA.
Your DNA, and then it puts that antibody to fight COVID. That's what the research said. The antibody was in it to fight COVID, and that would be naturally put then into your they said naturally, but that's not the word for it. It's unnaturally putting it into your DNA, so that way your body and your person would always fight it. Right? That's research I did, and that's what I read. Mm-hmm. And but that's why it was called mRNA, because it has to do with the DNA. And when you go in there and you start changing a living person's DNA, come on, man. That's catastrophe written all for humankind. So it's good that there's the people that didn't get it, and didn't get it like the amount of times I did. I did 3, and that was enough with my with my pre-existing conditions that I had. That was enough to really really bite my butt. You know, really get in there, do some neurological damage. Neurons
Right.
fire differently. But hey, get this though. Yo, flip this up, flip this script. There's stuff out there that can help. Why do you think I'm able to do this podcast? Why do you think I'm able to seem like I am who I am and I do what I do? It's because there is something out there for the people that do have the lifelong symptoms that stay with them, the damage that was done to them.
Right.
The ones that didn't die, they're just waiting to die.
That's yeah, no kidding.
And they're getting to that point because they've had these vaccines.
Absolutely. We're gonna take a quick pause because we got a shout out. Sorry, my YouTube is not going through to our chat bot. So thank you to all our YouTubers out there. We're gonna give them a big. I want to lighten up just a little bit for a second. We're gonna take a breather on the darkness. Shout out to Superfan in the building, Amy in the building.
Word up, Don.
And then we got Don in the building. Yeah, and then James over on Facebook holler and says he's ready to go to Walden Pond right now and just get out of tech and just him alone in the woods. Love that.
Yes.
Yes,
sir. You got it, brother.
Yeah, man. So
now you're talking.
Shout out to all our chats. We try to get to everyone. Chats are being a little funky today, but hang in there with us. We're working on it. So, here's the thing, and I want to say this for YouTube so I don't get a strike, and it's important to know I support all vaccines that are safe and effective, and I'm thankful.
That's why I took them. I support them.
Safe and effective.
Yeah. I took them.
I want to thank I want to thank Dr. Fauci and the medical industry for providing us with safe and effective vaccines that have saved millions of lives. For YouTube. Anyway, moving on. You know what? Screw that. No, I don't think any of them. Fauci is evil and should be locked up. Period. The end. The fact he made us wear masks outside and 6 feet and then literally came out and said, I made that up. And then it was proven that now I understand wearing masks if you have sneezing and coughing and you don't want to get on other people. It's actually very common in in Asian countries. And it's very common when people from other countries come here, and I've traveled to other places, and you have to be very careful with different sicknesses. I've gotten extremely sick just in Hawaii, just because it's a different strain of virus your body's never dealt with, and it's got to go through that. So I completely understand, and no hate if you wear a mask because you're coughing and choking, and you don't want to get that on any other people. However, it's not effective for airborne viruses. They are too small. And that's just what it is. So, and this is CDC. I'm talking about CDC.
Oh, yeah,
but I know
right.
you still can get a strike for quoting CDC. So, I'm glad we have a small listenership. So, and we have a backup channel. So
Did I say something wrong?
Huh?
Did I say something wrong?
No, we said nothing wrong. Look, man, we're in that era, dude. You have to be very careful on YouTube for some reason.
Cover my ass. Cover my ass. That's the producer's job.
I know. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm safe and effective. Safe and effective. Safe and effective.
All about being safe. All about supporting good things. It was a good thing.
You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, get this though. It was a good thing. It was a part of my life, and it led to me getting to have the experiences I got to have later on.
Fair.
So that's all. I mean, I've been blessed with. I am so wealthy with experiences and memories. That's where my wealth lies, is with all the experiences I've had since that point. It's been a pretty wild and crazy fun ride, to get to go to all those slap events and the different MMA Invictas I went to, and meet the people and the fans and the fighters. Come on, man. If I don't have to find an alternate way to live because of my health issues, none of that all goes on. You know, if life stays normal, I just keep on teaching piano till I'm dead. Life didn't go normal. It, that railroad track took a siding, that frog switched, took a different track, and now I'm on a different path. And, if it doesn't go exactly A, B, C, D, E, F, G in the past, I don't get to Z right now. Right? So it's all led to good things. No matter what the experience. That's why it's all got to be good. That's what I say.
Yeah, man. And
turn it into good is what I say.
Absolutely. Life is what you make it. Life's a garden, dig it.
Whoa.
But no, absolutely, man. I mean, yeah, I should believe it. For me, I freak out at even thinking about where I possibly could be, without the love and blessings and honestly what I feel to be God showing me the light, making the right decision to quit drinking. And from that decision, being the kind of person to be on the lookout for the right kind of woman and finding that woman and that woman.
Sounds like you did good.
My life, dude. Like everybody needs a different thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy everybody found their thing. But my thing was finding a really great woman to get my life right. Straight up. It's the one thing that made me go, I may be worthless, but this person is worth something. A lot to me, right? And they care about me.
She sees value in you.
Well, it's like you can't be a good support system for someone that loves you that you claim to love back unless you're taking care of yourself on some level. And that's the truth. And if you don't value yourself at all, then you don't really love the person because you don't contain the ability to love them. Because if you truly loved them, you would want that in the same way that if you truly love someone and they're going to get in a car with shitty brakes and no oil and go, I'm driving 100 miles south. And you were like, no, you're not. This is going to be bad for you. And I care too much about you to allow your support system to not be safe and solid for you, especially when you're counting on that support system. And that support system has proclaimed its love and care for you. Right? So if I let you get in that support system vehicle and that it kills you, then that's me not truly caring about you. That's me feeling good about saying I care about you. And that's actually damaging and harmful to you on many levels. So I need to take care of myself on some levels, no matter how I feel about myself, so I can be the best support system for you. And that's not necessarily the best place to be. Is that dysfunctional on levels? Sure. But you know what it does? It's a start.
How's it dysfunctional if it's a function and it works in the end?
Yeah. But it's a start, man. And maybe going, hey, I'll be honest, and I've said this many times, I didn't quit drinking for me. I really didn't. I quit drinking because I saw the damage and harm I caused everybody around me.
I don't think anybody quits drinking for themselves. I don't. I was forced. The railroad forced me to go to rehab.
Right. Well, and everybody has their different. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the thing is it's everybody always says, oh, it has to be about you. I mean, you know what? It really doesn't. If it takes somebody else to help motivate you, you do not, then grab it and do that and admit that that's what's happened. It isn't all about, it's all about me. It's because I chose to do it.
Right.
Right. So props to you, man, because that's looking out for somebody else and, taking your own hit for it in your life. But it was for a positive.
It forces you to have to value yourself on some level, right? And I find most addicts have zero value in themselves, and that's why that's a lot of the cause of there's other reasons, but really, if you can have people find some kind of value in themselves, they're going to be willing to work on themselves. And if that value is in being a great support system at first, and then you're like, oh, well, as I support others, I realize I have some shit to give. It may not be the best shit, but it's at least as good as anybody else's.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me try to contribute a little bit of that then out of a place of value or worth for what I have to give versus a place of survival or misery or whatever else, right? And then you start doing that. And once again, while focus on being a good support system for someone else, and that love and care for them equals some kind of self-care. And then hashtag no homo. But you roll. But the point is, at the point that you learn to value yourself, even if it's because you value others, then that's invaluable. You know what I'm saying there? I'm just saying, man. It's just it becomes a thing. And then you're like, I may be no better than anybody else, and I may be less good than everybody else, but at least I have some worth. You know what I mean? And if I profess my love to someone, it gives me a reason to be a better person, regardless of how I feel about myself or the world around me. And that's something. That ain't nothing, man.
No, that's life. I mean,
Good start. I'll tell you it's a good start from my point of view. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. And you know, I've heard good things. Amy's nice.
I've heard good things.
You know, sorry, Amy. I mean, I ain't met you. So, you know, I just got to go off secondhand information here, you know. But I'm sure you're great. Yeah, I'm sure. Shout out to Amy.
You'll do in a pinch. You know, you're saying that she's over there like.
I'm like, yeah, she's good. I hear, you know, that's a word on the street. And she's a good gal.
Long suffering. We can all agree to that.
Good gal. We call her a good gal in Nebraska.
That's a good gal there in Nebraska. So
well, like on stage, it was good bastard. Yeah, he's a good bastard. He's a good bastard.
No,
so she's a good gal.
It's weird that
top-notch.
I mean
top-notch. That's what that is.
You know, you're getting old when compliments and or proper terms are now considered insults and or racist or, you know, disgusting.
Compliments all in one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's on both sides. It's on the North Pole and the South Pole.
Right.
You know, both spectrums. Whatever you say.
Well, and it's one of those things you have to live a little while, right? Like, because, you know, when you're taught a certain thing and that's the thing, and then that changes a couple of times, you have to live and go, oh, man, terms are wacky. You know what I mean? Like, don't get too caught up in this or that. The only people getting caught up in that haven't lived long enough to see how this stuff evolves. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
But I love talking about it.
Fair, absolutely. I'm glad you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you do.
No, I do, man. I mean, I love talking about everything.
Yeah.
Happy, medium, sad. I mean, we've talked about mental health on here before.
Absolutely.
You know, men's specifically men's mental health. You know, so yeah. I mean, I like talking about everything.
Yes, Burley, that is Fred Durst. Anyway, moving on.
Word
in the YouTube chat. The common question we get just about every show: are you Fred Durst?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're Fred Durst, but I do believe you did it all for the nookie. You know what I'm
saying? No, I mean, that's been my whole life, dude. I mean, for real, everybody out there, I may be, I might not be. I mean, you know, I could be just an AI image that Mike's made up completely and totally off of Fred Durst's image. Because, like he said, Grok is that good.
What would be brilliant is if you made me up as a vessel. I'm a complete creation of your mind. So you created me as a vessel, right? To produce for you.
Yep.
That would be the brilliant thing.
Well,
I don't really exist.
Because I was in a spot, man. I was in a spot, you know. It went bad at one thing, and so, you know, I'm not gonna have that access, and then I can't afford the other access, so I had to figure something out. So I could afford that monthly Grok, and so yeah, I did create this Which way are you?
Yeah, man. Can I just ask you to do a better job? Like, create some wealth for me. Create like a really cool. You know what I want, man? Look, I'm a man
It'll
of
have to
humble
be
means.
digital though, because you're not real. It'll have to be digital.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah,
We'll
that's what I
we'll call it the Mike coin.
want.
I'll pay you in Mike coins.
Actually, bro, the slap coin. We
Mm.
could take this shit over, bro. We'll talk more about that off air. Anyway,
no entrepreneurship over live, please.
Not until we're ready to launch.
No secrets.
And then all it is live. But
we don't share that.
Until then, yes. Holy crap, dude. That got my mind thinking because we
Get
anyway.
it, go.
Woo,
yeah.
Because you know me, man. I'm that dude. I keep, you know what I mean? I keep a finger in many pots. You know what I'm saying? So I got 10 fingers, I got 10 pots that I'm stirring. But I got luckily enough and thankfully enough, because of the work I've been able to do and the relationships I've been able to build, I have, some pretty high level crypto guys that are good friends. Great guys. And I also have some pretty high level slap cats that are good friends. So yeah, we combine that. You know what I'm saying? Chocolate and peanut butter mixed together. They put chocolate in my peanut butter. They put peanut butter in my chocolate.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
Yeah.
I'm being the white unk 76 or 67 or whatever he is.
Oh, yeah. I saw that guy was on a thing. So anyway. Oh, hey, it's funny. Some of the trolls, some of the haters in our chat had White Unk on a interview on their chat. It was cool. So yeah, man.
There is a white unk. There is a white unk.
Yeah, the guys. I thought it was you at first, and I checked to see if you did an interview on a podcast, and it was not you. That dude tries to he wiggers it up pretty hard. You know what I mean? That dude is trying to.
But I don't. I'm wearing.
Yeah, no, you don't at all. No. I'm not saying it was you.
No. I'm just saying. And that's right. I get confused because there are people that get confused out there. They some confused folk.
Okay, and I got it. While confusion exists, I got to ask you a question, man.
What up?
If you're in a board game and the challenge is to name cheese dishes, right? Dishes traditionally made with cheese. If someone says cheese enchiladas, do you allow that? Because enchiladas are not traditionally, or do you allow it?
No, we got both.
Okay, yes, there are both.
Cheese or without cheese or beef and cheese. You can have onion, no onion. Yeah, and we get real Mexican food here in West Nebraska. Real Mexican food. It's amazing. I give you 3 restaurants, and you'd be going to all of them each week.
I love it. I mean, no hate in the game. I just don't feel like, because when you eat authentic Mexican food, there's not much cheese at all. You're amazed at the lack of If you grew up on Tex-Mex, which I did,
yeah.
If you grow up hard on Tex-Mex, I mean, you eat it twice a week at least growing up. And then you eat authentic Mexican food. You're like, where's the dairy? Like, you're literally surprised that there's no sour cream and there's no cheese and bop. So.
Well, then that's where they come in with the queso. But queso's not a Mexican thing.
Queso what, though?
Queso
what?
Queso cheese.
Oh, queso cheese, you mean? You know what I'm saying?
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
That was dumb.
Speedy Gonzalez on you, Slowpoke.
Oh, by the way, shout out, man, our Memorial Day mega stream that we did. We did a Memorial Day mega stream, and you guys can check that out. It's got 13 hours that uploaded, even though we did 20, it only kept 13 of it. Bro, it's mainly our show. Just so you know, side note, shout out while we're having fun and talking about queso cheese and stuff. We got over 500 views. It's one of our most viewed things on the whole channel. So we're building and growing, man, and our clips are blowing up. You know what I mean? Well over 1,000, just about everything we drop, whether it be Instagram or YouTube. So, man, thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you. It's a blessing. Yeah. So, yeah. Salute.
Thanks, everybody.
We're killing it, baby. We're killing it.
Having a good time. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. Having a good time.
Talking about the lack of dairy and authentic Mexican food. Yes.
Yes. A lot of cilantro though.
Oh, I love cilantro. Love it. I love authentic Mexican, man. Fajitas are like, oh,
Barbacoa.
yeah. Barbacoa fajitas are life to me. Oh, but all fajitas are life to me. So
Tongue's good in the taco. In that. I mean, they chop it up and really fry it, and you can't even tell. I mean, but the carne asadas.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, carne asadas. Look, it's an exciting show whether people like it or not. Okay, it's exciting. You may not think it's exciting. You may not even feel like it's exciting, but you're wrong. It's exciting. Exciting.
And look, I'm talking like carne asada, and look how pale this is.
It's the Wigga and the Wolo show.
Look how pale. I'm transparent. I glow.
You're a Wolo.
I'm so white. I glow. Look at that.
On
Look
the
at that silver glow.
On the outside, you're so white you glow, and on the inside, you're so Latino you flow.
Yeah, when the natural light hits me, I'm like a Latina albino. Latino albino. Albino rhino. Let's go.
Orale, Holmes.
Orale, vato.
Orale,
Oh,
vato.
orale. Oh.
I'm man, I'm getting to the point where I hate all culture. I hate all cities.
Wow. Well,
It's bad. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. I don't hate the people. I hate what they're doing to the people. I hate what the city play. Let me give you an example. Okay, this is something I wanted to talk about. Okay,
let's go.
Oklahoma City is doing this multi-billion-dollar complex, right? They're building a new stadium for the Thunder, and around the thing, and it was just a press release released like today or yesterday, around the big stadium, the new Thunderdome they're building for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're building this whole complex thing and park and bop, and they're tying in this big like water park and this big, other multi-sports park and blah, blah, blah. And they chose this designer that designed a thing in London and a thing in Hong Kong. And then Russell Westbrook is named as the official creative designer of the whole thing. Now, was Russell Westbrook Enterprises one of the major contractors who selected Russell Westbrook to be the creative designer? Well, sure. Of course it was. Yay. No shenanigans to see here. And then, of course, what do you get? In a hayseed town that's playing way above its skis. Yeehaw! God bless that man. I'm so thankful for what he's done for our community. He's so good. He's just the best. And you're like, okay, so here's my...
He's a nugget.
Yeah, anyway. But he... First round draft pick, OKC Thunder, when we first started.
I know the three had KD, yeah, whatever. Harden, yeah, whatever, guys.
Serge Ibaka.
Guys screwed that up.
Serge was awesome, though. Serge Ibaka is a genuinely good dude.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys had all the talent for real. All the talent.
KD, people don't understand. It's frustrating when you're watching years later, especially a couple years back, when KD and Russell were both at their prime on different teams. And you're like, man, people don't understand. I got to watch these dudes play together on the same court with Serge, y'all. Anyway.
And the speed on that team. Oh.
And just you see it now in the Thunder, and you see it in them winning teams, but in basketball especially, I think more than any other team sport, is that when they got that confidence. When it's that there is an extra thing there that has nothing to do with the player's actual on-paper ability. But it's just his mindset. Yeah, that Riz. You know what I'm saying? The Riz.
Yeah, I'm 51.
You don't have to take my word for it.
The Riz. So, But they just, they walk out on that court. It's like what Chael Sonnen says about fighters. He's like, no one will ever tell you this but me, and you'll never hear it anywhere else. However, before every fight ever takes place in that cage, the fighters, both of them, have decided who's going to win or lose. They will never tell you that. They may not even believe that. But when you watch them and you watch them fight, within about 30 to 45 seconds in, you can pretty much always tell. And he's like, now there are exceptions to the rule. There are exceptions. But pretty much when two fighters walk into a cage, they have both decided which one is going to win and which one is going to lose. So,
yeah, but then on that Banff title, that never happens.
What's Banff?
The UMF Banff.
Oh yeah,
that
love
belt.
it.
Yeah, UFC Banff. That is the purest of the UFC fights.
Agreed.
That is where the most heart is on that belt and them title fights. Because and them are they're amazing. I never miss one of those.
For sure. Let me just finalize my point, and that is that this big contracting company that they brought in, this architectural firm to design this stuff, did London and Hong Kong. Now, what's the difference between London and Hong Kong? Those are both island communities that are overpopulated, that have a design to cram the most people in and be the most functional.
Sardines.
I'm in Oklahoma. I am in a landlocked state with land upon space upon space. Why are they cramming us all in, making traffic worse, making property value more expensive, making it less accessible from the outside to come in and from the inside to get out?
In
Oklahoma.
Get more high rises. Make your city a real city. Compete with New York. Compete with Florida. Compete with California.
Oh, Calder Reese in the building. I'm 6 minutes late. I'm sorry. Calder Reese, he says, let's go. Give me the pews, baby. You got the pews, Calder Reese. You get the applause, Calder Reese. And Calder Reese, when they told you,
Do not come.
they said, Mike Calder Reese,
Do not come.
you said,
I'm gonna come.
hell yeah, check out Caltrop, Center Cup Media. Yeah, baby. Making it happen. So anyway. Sorry, I got sidetracked there for a second.
Front track.
Well, I mean, it's Calder Reese, man. We got to show him the love, brother.
Oh, always,
Calder
always.
Reese, man. So
He shows support all the time. That's awesome. Thank you.
he's the beast, and he's
Mike.
really good at what he does, man. So shout out to him. He launched
high
his own
energy,
thing
bro.
and just blowing up like immediately out of the gate, just running, bro. Like that's
He's
yeah.
so high energy. So high energy.
Yeah, he's deceptively smart. He doesn't look smart. He'll tell you that. I'm kidding. I love you, bro. I love you. You know what I mean? Come
Oh, he is, man.
on. So,
He's like funny mean.
yeah. Wait, well, Hey, look, he's East Coast Italian. He
He's
can bust
great.
balls
I
all
know.
day. Yeah. So anyway, but moving on. But I just wanted to make that point that it's very concerning that.
Italianized move, I believe.
There you go.
Whether it's good, good sauce, good gravy.
Good. Are you done?
I'm done. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't want to stop you if you feel you need to.
I just
contribute.
spaghettios, meatballs. Go ahead.
If you need to contribute more to Italian culture as a representative, I don't want to, hold you back. It's not who I am.
The mafia. Get me in there. Come on. I've been in Essex County. I've been lost in a bad spot at midnight. Yep. In Newark. Bring it.
That's yes, all day, every day. You know
On
what I
my
mean?
horse. Go.
Shout out to by the way, shout out to Terry from Beyond the Slap in the building over on Instagram. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you. I need to get you on the Power Slap show like soon, like Tuesday. So we'll talk, man. And
Come on, Terry.
I will be in Vegas on the 12th. Specifically, the only person I'm hoping legitimately to actually maybe have a bite with and hang out with is you, Terry, on the 12th of June. So
Go
I
get
will
one of
talk
them
to you.
fancy
Sweet.
donuts.
Yeah, man, we got to get the donuts and then the diner. So
I mean, whew. Yeah, get
Yeah.
it donut.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm about it. I'm about it all, baby. I'm about it all. But moving on. I'm about it all. So, and I'm excited. So, and
Careful.
excited to see where Power Slap is going, man. I'll be surprised if it is not more of a. I'll be surprised if it's not more of a UFC thing, if you will, in the way that it's or I'm sorry, a WWE thing, in the
There you
way
go.
that it's a
Correct.
UFC thing now, and that it's not officially UFC, but it is definitely a child. You can see its look, its feel, it's a child of the UFC. You know what I'm saying? I think that we might see it transform and change and evolve into more of a UFC look and feel type of thing. I mean WWE. I'm so sorry I keep doing that. My bad. So that'll be interesting. I think that'll
Everybody
be
loves it. Everybody loves it. I don't.
okay.
I don't. I think it's what it's done is it's taken the sport and made it into the WWE and taken it away from the common man, the everyday fella, the everyday guy that has a dream, that wants to compete. You know what? Those chances, they're gonna quit coming because it's already gonna be in the machine. The fighters that they're going to come from WWE, they're going to come from that NXT, that AEW, and guess what? Then I don't get a chance to go up there and slap nobody ever. I don't even get a tryout. I don't even get a look. There's no more show. There's no more nothing. The show becomes the AEW wrestlers being in the house, not common people. So it takes that niche completely away. Takes the hillbilly right out of it.
Okay, fair. All fair points, man. I'm not saying they're not fair points.
But
on
it's a
that.
money machine.
Well, okay, but and to that, and I'm glad you said that because to that, when it comes to major billion-dollar publicly traded companies getting into something like slap fights, right, as a whole, right, it has to be profitable at a certain point, or it's not worth it to them, right? It has where it has. Okay, it doesn't always have to make money, but it has to make sense if it's a decent loss leader, right? If it's a loss leader that allows them to, create a great brand, do great things for folks, and, market their other products, it makes sense. Just like, chicken nuggets are a loss leader for McDonald's, but that's okay because it gets you to buy French fries, which are high profit, right? So
I like chicken nuggets.
I'm not saying they're bad. They're delicious, but they are a loss leader in that McDonald's doesn't make the money on the nuggets. It makes on the fries or the sodas or anything else, regardless of that. Like any business, you have your high profit and your low profit items. Or your loss leader items that on paper are an immediate loss. But because of that product, you make more money on other things. So it comes out in the wash. However, if that's not happening right now with Power Slap and you're a $1 billion company who has UFC fighters, power slappers, and pro wrestlers on your card.
I'm
We're having
sorry.
doggy issues. What's he doing?
Like trying to sniff up on the counter. And he never does that. And you ate, dude, stop. Get over here and say it, man. Chill. Lay down.
He wants your attention. He's trying because you're doing another thing, and he's just kind of.
I know he's like, I'm getting away with this, and he's right there.
Yes.
How am I getting away with this with him in the room? I'm the man. No, Apollo, you're not.
You ain't slick, pup. You ain't slick.
Got him.
But anyway, my point is, from Ari's perspective, the guy who runs it, from the board of directors at global entertainment
get it.
sports that run this stuff, when they're looking at it and they're seeing Power Slap, they've got to decide, is this something that we want to keep? And if it is something we want to keep, how do we make it something profitable or a great loss leader that brings people into our other brands, our money-making brands?
I know.
That's what they're thinking of. And they're going, okay, right now, grabbing the everyday average guys with a lot of heart is not working. It's not working on this scale. Hear me out. It's not working on this scale a multi-billion-dollar publicly traded sports entertainment company needs it to work on.
No.
Does that mean it works on the scale of a JT, Brit Slap? No, it can work on that scale just fine. Look, most AAA baseball teams would not work on the UFC scale, right?
That's why.
There is not another. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's why we're seeing. You mentioned JT, but we're starting to see a transfer of fighters.
Agreed. I agree. I don't disagree. And
But at least it'll be a place for them to land.
For now.
Maybe.
Here's
maybe
the
though.
thing about
maybe.
it, man.
Their fighters are good too, man.
Here's the thing. There's and remember, man, it's important to keep in mind that if there is profit to be made, and there are people who look, there's going to be people who come from the world of entertainment and production that are going to see a huge opportunity here, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to try to work with the existing groups of people invested in it and go, hey, man, if you're willing to work with us, and if you're willing to, make your product more marketable on this level or that, we really have something here. And they're going to go to those folks and they're going to offer those opportunities. And those folks hopefully will take them. But if they don't, and that group of professionals was really good at building production and marketing, still wants that product, they might be inclined to go build their own. Maybe use some champs of a sport, former champs of a sport, to build their own. That's what Power Slap did, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like a successful model. Now, if you take the Power Slap model and you go, what they're missing right now with the guys they're using, what they're missing.
Power.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, well, that's what they're looking at. And on their, once again, on that major brand level, yes. Right? But on a smaller brand level, ESPN Ocho, the Ocho baby. You know what I mean? Think about that for a second. You still have a great sponsorable product.
And it's
You
something
still
to be
have-
proud of.
And what they're missing, and here's the thing I don't understand about Power Slap, and the cool thing is I know no one of the Power Slap powers that be are listening because none of them care about their product. Just go to their website or their Twitter, and you tell me how great of a job they're doing promoting their upcoming event. Other than a pin post flyer that's been there for weeks, there is nothing promoting. And you tell me the last they came out with the 4 matches, right? The headliner 4, great. You tell me all the other matches they're announcing week by week, day by day. You tell me the other fighters they're featuring. You show me the clips that they're doing where they sent out the production team, just like they do for that UFC show. What's the name of the UFC show? Embedded. And so you show me the Power Slap Embedded. Oh, but wait.
Dog. I got
Babyface Anthony Blackburn is doing his own Embedded right now. My man's taking a pause. Sorry, dog. Sorry. My man Anthony Blackburn is doing his own Embedded right now. And if the people at Power Slap were smart, they would just link to his freaking feed. Not only would it build one of their champions and build interest in him and take the millions of people trying to find more information and stay involved, but it would get more people involved and it would get more people committed to this specific match. Just one of 4, right? So the man is doing that. The man is doing that for free. And the promotion that he's doing it for isn't even paying attention and linking up and making it happen. That's frustrating to me. That is very frustrating to me. Aziel's doing the same. Luke's doing the same. Shout out to Hawaiian Hip. All the Hawaiian boys doing the same. These guys are making it happen. Beyond the Slap is doing the same. You know what I mean? These folks are making it happen. So it's important to know, man, that if you love the fights, you gotta love the fighters, and if you love the fighters, you follow the fighters. You know, that's what we're talking about. So I'm gonna pull some up right now because his stuff is fire right now. So let's see here. So this is what a power slap embedded could look like. There he is. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. This is what power slap embedded should and could look like. Remember, it's not UFC. It's not as pretty. But like I said, my man is doing it on his own. And while we're on the subject, I got to play this because my man is putting the work in.
Ant-Man, Anthony, babyface.
It's 6:45 a.m. Let's get this workout in. Woo!
So you get access to high quality diamonds at honest, straightforward prices. And I'm telling you.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
See what I'm saying? This is more information and more excitement than anything the actual promotion is doing right here and right now. Now he's just, talking about his diet, what he's eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just,
stuff using the sauce.
Yeah.
The emphasis.
And then he throws in some action for you.
Fair blow.
You know what I'm saying? Throws in his knocks off promo.
All right, clean up your shrimps.
Comedy.
He's doing great. He's doing great doing that.
You know what I'm saying, dude? This is its own embedded and all power. Look. Okay. So the frustrating part is he is promoting and doing a show for these fools for free, and all they would have to do is link to it. All they would have to do is link to it, and it would be great promotion. It would be great marketing. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing here. It makes no sense to me, right? So anyway, because like I said, all they'd have to do is link to and that's just him. There are so many fighters doing that, right? So many. He's just a champ, So anyway, I don't get it, bruh. I don't get it. You know what I mean? So all they have to do is link to the guys doing the work already. You don't have to send a production team out. You don't have to spend $100,000 putting a thing together. You just do a web series going, power slap around IG, power slap around the web. You know what I mean? Fighters around the web. And you take one producer dude in front of one computer with one good system, and you give him 4 hours a day, and he compiles that shitload of badass stuff, and you release it 2 or 3 times a day, and you will quadruple your audience immediately. I'm so tired of giving free freaking advice on here that you would have to pay $1,000 and sign a contract with me to get this information, or anybody in my industry. I literally do get hate mail. People going, quit telling the business. But it's cool because nobody fucking listens.
I had to pay him $1,000.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Who, me? Yes, I agree. But you didn't have to pay me $1,000, dog.
No, you're not.
I'm trying to pay you, but we got to make money.
You're a sweetheart.
I'm an ass.
You're a sweetheart. Amy, pipe up. He's a sweetheart, right?
You know how it is. Yeah, look, man. Cardman, I think we can agree to this. There's a point in your life where you look in the mirror and you go, you know what? I'm more of an outlaw, more of a cowboy. I'm probably one of those guys that if you added up the ledger, I'm lucky if it's a break even. But I can decide to be really good to the people that I do love, that have stuck around, or that are willing to come in and play in the sandbox. And I can try to be really good to those folks.
Yeah.
And I can try to find the opportunities in life to, be good to folks at this point, knowing that I inherently am probably a pretty cactusy kind of guy.
You're stubbly. You're stubbly. You're not cactusy, but stubbly.
You understand. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
I do. Yeah, man. But oh, you're a sweetheart.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm sure you felt the same way. We've made our fair. Look, nobody lives on the edge without falling off a few times. You know what I mean? That's just how it
Ooh.
is. So
The falling off is fun until you land.
yeah, yeah.
That's the best part of it all. Is the falling off. That's the peak. The peak. Get this. The peak is the falling off. You don't hit bottom till you land. The falling off is like the the instant. Yeah.
She says he's a teddy bear to his loved ones.
There you go.
Let's see here.
But he'll defend
wait,
us.
wait, it's a whole
Get
thing.
out of you.
She's a teddy bear to his loved ones, a stand-up guy for strangers, and a honey badger to people who threaten them. So yeah, that's.
And you'll knock the hell out of anybody that threatens Amy.
Oh well, yeah, no, I would.
Yeah, damn straight. You ain't putting up with nothing.
You better pray to God all you get is knocked the hell out of. You better wake up thankful. You better wake up thanking Jesus that you woke up. That's not a joke. Anyway, moving on. Let's not get weird.
This is a rock and a boxer. Yeah, one-armed one. Like a kid. Like when you knock off that arm, like knock off the rock box.
Mm-hmm.
You know those the two plastic, the red one and the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the red one with one arm.
I missed that.
I got both. See, just kidding.
Can you believe that there was a time where people literally made a living as fighters fighting like this?
Oh.
I'm a pugilist. I'm a pugilist.
Put him up. 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 That was Snagglepuss. Cartoon, and I was put him up. or the lion from Wizard of Oz. That's what it is. Put him up.
Put him up. Put him up.
Put him up. Put him up. Oh.
Yeah. I love it.
I think I could have been him. I think I was maybe I was him, and I'm reincarnated as me. Put him up.
Maybe because you got your courage.
I do have my courage now.
You do have the courage.
I came back with my courage and wanted to see if I could ride it out alone. That was the pre-plan before I ever came. So put him up. Put him up.
I love courage, man. It's one of my favorite things.
Courage.
So, I think courage is a byproduct of, man, so many of the good things you need in life, personality-wise, come with a healthy dose of not caring, not allowing others' opinions of you to affect and or control you. Now, there's also a price to pay for that. There's a price to pay for that.
Yeah, solitude.
But some of us decide it's worth it.
Oh, so valuable.
Yeah.
Because, the most valuable thing on the earth is your time. And a lot of time spent alone, if you're smart, you can use that time. It's not just a time of alone. It's a time of gathering. It's a time of gathering some knowledge. Time to learn. It's time to get more. Figure some things out. That's how I look at it. Being alone is the freedom to gain more knowledge. And the cost of that is you keep getting knowledge and you keep not having friends. In a letter I got once here, I'll just quote it. I have moon pie Christmases. But I don't. I get turkey and mashed potatoes and presents and all that stuff. Just like everybody else.
Bro, yeah, man.
Moon pie Christmases. Sounds like a song to me.
I got you, dude.
Snow
I got you,
down.
baby. You don't ever have to worry about that again. I got you.
Clouds in town.
You're always gonna have some dry ass turkey and instant mashed potatoes at my Christmas. Okay, because that's how we get down. Okay, don't judge, just enjoy.
The Walmart. Walmart.
I make a delicious turkey, and I'm owning that. Okay, so yeah.
Ooh, is it smoked? Is it fried, or is it baked?
I'm an oven man because it's the easiest. And once again, I've lived in apartments a lot. I haven't had a whole lot of options. However, maybe It's all about the preparation. You know what I mean? I'm a 24-hour brine man. So I'm going to brine that bird for a good 24 hours.
Mm.
Then I'm going to take it, pull it out of that briny water. I'm going to rub butter, massage butter underneath the skin, all through it.
Smack it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Rub it
And
down.
I'm going to cook it. So I made the mistake of not doing tinfoil last year. And so while it wasn't dry, it wasn't where I wanted it to be. Because I was trying to do a crispier skin. And I haven't really mastered the balance. My boy Chef Isabella, shout out, has got away, he says. So I'm gonna try to run his recipe next year.
Don't you? I think get that skin crispy. You need to open up that foil at the end and let that top broiler really put the heat down on that top of that skin, so it gets really dark brown.
Yeah, but nobody likes a burned, dried out.
Don't burn it. Don't burn it. Get it crispy. Baste it. Don't be lazy. Baste it.
I do, man. Look. I just told you I do a 24-hour brine. How are you calling me lazy?
It's a brine, but you got to baste at the end to get the crisp.
Okay, yeah, no, I based through the entire process, okay? It's not about that. It's about the slow cook versus the fast cook. Anyway, I'm going to work it out. You're going to know because you're going to come.
Look, man, oil.
Look, man, Thanksgiving is like my most favorite holiday by far. I love Thanksgiving. I love it.
Football.
No, food
and football.
Here's the thing. I grew up extremely poor, so Christmas was not always great. Sometimes it was, and my mom worked very hard to provide me amazing things for Christmas.
Yes.
And I love that.
Some really cool Christmas things.
But still and yet, being a poor kid, Christmas was never all that great. And there were always kids who got to show off and do more and have more and blah, blah, blah. And that was a whole thing. Also, growing up with just my mom, no brothers, no sisters, no father, Christmas was kind of more like any other day. And it just, a lot of times it felt like Thanksgiving part 2 with some presents. So, which is fine. But what I'm saying is, I love Thanksgiving because and then as you get older and you're a poor teenager, a poor 20-year-old, poor 30-year-old, you still have to buy presents for people. And then there's pressure there. And there's this stress and this pressure and this money because society goes, hey, you have to come up with extra money and do things for people or you don't love them. But what if I don't have it, but I love them with all my heart? Well, no, not an option. Or you get to feel like the asshole at the family party. So anyway, long story short, I hate all that. And then I'm also very much reminded of all the people who have even less than me, and it can be heavy. However,
yes.
And it's common. What I feel is not uncommon for Christmas for a lot of folk. However, Thanksgiving, on the other hand, seems to, and I don't know if because the word giving is in the title, but it seems to be the kind of day where people will come together, people will chill out, and maybe it is okay. So there's 8 hours of football on, so we don't talk. I don't care. All I care about is somebody will bring the rolls and somebody will bring the potato salad and people are going to hang out in the kitchen and cook and laugh and eat. And as long as you come with an appetite, you know what I mean? The people that threw in, I've never been to a Thanksgiving dinner where there hasn't been enough food for 3 to 5 other people to eat. And I've gotten very full, right? Yeah. Where the leftovers. So that's why I love Thanksgiving, man, because there's no financial societal pressure or there's not as much. And
where there's extras. It's just about getting together and eating.
Yeah, and it's about giving. And a lot of times there's a lot of turkey giveaways. And if you like that kind of stuff, and I love that in my community, you're feeding a lot of people and you can eat and just relax and take a day just to love people and be thankful for the things you have. And
my dad, as you say this, my dad, every Thanksgiving used to go to the Guadalupe Center.
Mm-hmm.
And serve the meals to the people that were in line, that were needy, that were on the streets, the homeless, the ones that had a home but couldn't eat. He would go every Thanksgiving and serve for 5 hours. That was my dad's tradition.
Heck yeah, man.
So yeah, I mean it was just about giving.
I dig it, man. Yeah. You're worried. You want to hang out with somebody on Thanksgiving? I got you, baby. You worry not.
Oh,
it's because they're not. If you're willing to sleep on a couch or a memory foam mattress on a floor, you're good. No worries.
I'll sleep on the passport.
Hey, no, my house is comfortable, man. But anyway,
You know what I'm saying, though. I mean, yeah. I mean,
I got you. Yes. But yeah, no.
I lived in a
That's why I
barn
love
for-
Thanksgiving. It's why it's my favorite holiday. Is because yeah, man. I go all out. I love to cook, so I go all out. I'm the mashed potatoes bird guy because I'm gonna do that bird. I'm gonna put a lot of work in it, and then
You
I
do the
do.
taters and the fowl.
Yeah, man. I do a cream cheese mashed potato thing. Very Chef Ramsay. So yeah, man.
Salt Bay.
It's Salt Bay. Yeah. I love to cook, man. Are you a cook? Do you cook much?
I did. I used to be a barbecue like smoker.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I loved doing offset wood burning, smoking. Like the 12-hour stuff. The best was, and I'd make my own barbecue sauce also. Had my own barbecue sauce, my own salts that I would make. I'd smoke salts. I'd smoke different things. I just loved it, man. I was really good at chicken legs, where you get that skin, where you take a bite of a smoke and the skin doesn't tear away. You just get that bite and that skin stays. Oh, yeah, I used to do that. I mean, I did. But
Love it, by the
I have
way.
with the neurological side effects, to be honest. My memory in short term doesn't do well with cooking things. It's how bad the short term is. In fact, hold on. Time out. Give me literally 2 seconds. Let me show you something.
Rock on. He's showing us something, y'all. While we're doing that, we're going to check some more stories here. Who else is awesome?
Dum, da, da, dum, dum, da, da, da. I'm not proud. I'm not proud. That's my steak last night.
Nice.
Not nice.
Eh,
Unedible.
Okay.
I did not remember the times I was turning it.
Oh, okay. You feel
You
like
know
it's a
what I'm
little
saying?
overcooked for your taste.
Oh,
Fair.
yeah. It's like wood. It's like wood. Give me 1 second here. This is going to be awesome. I got a steak that's overcooked in one hand, and I'm going to answer my mom. Online. Hey, Mom, I'm doing the podcast right now. What's up? Oh, okay. Okay, well, then, where you at? Oh, so you're 4 blocks away?
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, then, no. It's just a stop. Okay, well, then, I'll just open the door, and I'll look for you. And then I'll have Mike tell a joke while I just run out there real quick.
Well, it's okay, but hey, bro, we're at the 2-hour mark. That's okay. I was hoping to do right around 2 hours today anyway, man. We're right at 2 hours. So
I just ended it on this.
Huh?
And then we ended it on that.
That's so concerning. We're not in it. We got 7 minutes. But yeah, no, that's concerning on so many levels. One,
well, I can't cook in my oven anymore because I burnt so much stuff that it's dangerous.
I would think hamburgers would be like, I would do like hamburgers on the pan, on the oven top, where you can drop them, put cheese on them. You know what I mean? Pull it off, put it on a bun, and you're eating it. So it never goes out of your sight. So
give me 1 second. Tell your joke.
Absolutely. And then the other thing I recommend if you have that issue is an air fryer for your French fries. If you want to do like hamburger and French fries, why, you ask? Because hamburger and French fries, the air fryer with French fries actually gives you a buzz, a ding, that kind of thing there, and you're good to go. So make sure that you do that if that's what you want to do, man. And while we're waiting on him, I'll wrap with a little promo tomorrow. Assuming I'm locking him in, I have a wonderful gentleman named Fred, Norman, Oklahoma guy, played football for the OU Sooners. Son also played football for the OU Sooners, also grew up in the town. I'm going to talk a little bit about the town. He also is involved in financial planning and things like that. So we're going to try to maybe get a little advice from him in this ever-changing economy, what may be best for folks. So that'll be a good show tomorrow night. Great guy, local hero. And then, of course, Friday is that NoOner show. We're killing it. Guys, we're killing it on the NoOner show. You know what I'm saying? We are killing it. And we want you to enjoy it with us. We want you to enjoy it with us. So how are you feeling about the NoOner show, Vern?
I got a drink. Thank you for the drink.
Yes.
And the prison smokes. Thank you for those also. Okay, so just the cheap smokes. That's all. But I love them. Okay, NoOner show.
I'm not here to judge your
My diet,
baby.
My diet.
Cigarettes, the smokes.
Soda.
Yeah.
Cigarettes and soda.
Here's the thing, man. Like, can I just, because I gotta say it. And I love you, bro. But the concern is, to me, right? The concern is the fact that you still had the steak from last night there in a plate, like, you know what I'm saying? So
thinking about maybe chewing on it a little. Meh. Probably not. Probably give it to the dog. But anyways, yeah, that's probably why I'm keeping it there, just so I can feed it to.
Oh, for the dog.
Yeah, for Paula.
Sure. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
He'll dig it. He'll think it's a treat when it's shit.
Well, then why would you give him steak? You know what I'm saying?
He'll love it. Yeah, steak. I mean, yeah, and then I give my dog steak. What do you give your dog? Oh, that Alpo. Whatever.
Alpo.
Oh, whatever. My dog's a steak eating dog. Yes. That's what I think about the NoOner show. It's fun. I think it's crazy. I think it's weird. I think it's sane. I think it's everything. You know, there ain't no telling what's gonna get said whenever we enter this room.
That's fair. And you're not wrong. And you're not wrong. I'm trying to pull up a good clip for us so they can see what we do on Fridays. You know what I mean? I like this. This is something that didn't hit. Like, it didn't get the love that I was hoping it would get, but I still think it's hilarious. So I'm cramming it down your throat, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of our clips from our show we do on Fridays. We hope you a slave employee, all they can think about is the alternative to that. And even if it's not going to be long-term good for them.
The alternative
is, you know, this is what you think it looks like. Cut to 4 weeks later when he's out on the street corner turning tricks for a stale sandwich. When you treat a kid like a slave employee, all they can think about is the alternative to that. And even if it's not going to be long-term good for them.
The alternative. You use the S word. That's why.
It looks like. Cut to 4 weeks later when he. What's the S word?
The S word.
Stale sandwich.
Don't try to get me saying it.
Yeah, man. Wash them clothes, or at least put them in a laundry room outside of, you know, because that funk is staying.
This one was
like,
good.
You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We live in a society where we just leave those people alone and they wonder what's wrong with them. And maybe they would clean. Next time you hang around somebody that stinks, you walk right over and be like, you smell like shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, hey, yo, my house might be dirty, but I took a shower today.
Yeah, man. Wash them clothes, or at least put them in a laundry room outside of, you know, because that funk is staying. Like, you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We live in a society where we just leave those people alone and they wonder what's wrong with them. And maybe they would clean. Next time you hang around somebody that stinks, you walk right over and be like, you smell like shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, hey, yo, my house might be dirty, but I took a shower today.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's like one of the codes. My house might be dirty, but at least I showered today.
That's fair. That's very fair. And that's all you can really ask of anyone now.
They were just proud of me to know that I actually showered. You know, oh, wow, he does shower. Impressive.
I still advocate for rolling up on somebody you think stinks and telling them they smell like
shit.
I'm advocating for it, bro. So.
Or at least sweaty feet. Hey, which smells like shit.
True that. Man, what do you
Smells
sorry.
like shit. Everything that stinks smells like shit. Everything stinks smells like shit.
So guys, make sure you it's not always, man. I'm very picky about that, by the way. I'm a smell good person. I'm very
Me too.
aware of smells. It's a big deal to me, oddly. So I have a sensitive hearing, sensitive sense of smell, not great sight, believe it or not. Not great eyesight. So
I'm sensitive. I'm real sensitive to light and audio.
yeah.
Light audio is really, yeah. That's why a lot of times I'll play. Whenever I do different things, I will play frequencies, so that way I can just get in tune with that.
Groove in that frequency.
We're right at 2 hours. Do you want to stop?
We can keep rolling. Fuck it.
Okay, yeah, we can keep going. I got more to say.
Because I actually did want to get your opinion because I'm like trying to rap and I'm thinking about all the things I didn't want to, miss. And we didn't, because, we got sidetracked.
Anything you wanted to. We did nothing you wanted to.
No, we did
Nothing
actually.
Did
just
we?
talk shit. Yeah. The point was to have no plan and just to talk. And we did that. So we won. And maybe run a couple of our funnier clips that weren't getting the love that they should. So,
there you go.
Stale sandwich.
Stale sandwich.
Anyway,
that's like the tunnels and culverts, stale sandwiches fits right in. In fact, that's right that you're going on. I thought you were gonna say dumpster. I'll buy a dumpster. Eating a stale sandwich.
Stale sandwiches are culvert bait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a stale sandwich is what you put in the culvert to lure.
Yep. Just what was it? Just think of Menace to Society in the alley with a cheeseburger. A sandwich is something. Even if it's stale, it's valuable in that world.
In that world, yes. So here's my question. Here's what I wanted to ask you, man. What was your thought? What was your opinion on the couple things there? One, what's your opinion on the structure of the slap fight championship tournament they're doing? And then what did you think of this that they did? What did you think of the event?
I dug the structure. I mean, I was able to get invited to one, and I went, and it was I loved it. The closeness of it, the people that are involved, the fighters. Ooh, he's got a lot of really great fighters in his stalls.
Man, there were honestly, the fighters themselves seem to have ratcheted up the entertainment a notch. I love it, and I think it's great. It's more work. But I think these guys are starting to figure out, we're in show business too. Yeah. Like, it's not just about who can be the best slapper. It's about who can get the most views of them slapping. And I think that's brilliant. I think they're starting to figure it out. Absolutely.
Yeah, but also I think they keep the real to the real. There's no Hollywood in any of them, I don't think. I think there is Hollywood style people in power slap. You know what I'm saying? That are
the
just
same dudes though.
No, it's not. Well, they're going. Some are.
Are you talking? Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Are you talking fighters or production people, behind the scenes or fighters?
The whole thing. The whole thing. As a show, the whole thing.
Okay, but can you tell me there's legit one PSF fighter or PSL fighter, excuse me, that
SFC fighter?
SFC, sorry, whatever it is.
Slap fight
I'm so sorry, shame on me. I was thinking of another one.
Slap fight championship.
Yes, SFC. But could you honestly tell me that there's one SFC fighter who's like, if I'm less entertaining, that's better for me? They all know they need to be more Hollywood. They all know they need to be more entertaining. They all know they need to be bigger and brighter.
But it doesn't have to be Hollywood. To be bigger, it doesn't have to be bigger Hollywood.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair.
That's what I'm saying.
And maybe that's what I'm getting confused, right? Is the difference?
Okay, you got your Paige Van Zandt. You know what I'm saying? You got that's.
Is she Hollywood to you?
As Hollywood as slap fighting's gonna get.
Okay, fair. But is she also great for the sport, though, bro?
Yeah, she is. She brought in so many people. I have nothing against Paige Van Zandt at all.
Also, I think she's
No.
awesome. I mean, she's got a great
I think she's
personality,
rad.
great attitude.
Yeah.
Dude, if she was hideous to look at, but she still brought that personality and
She's really
commitment.
cool.
And I think, honestly, a lot of people discount her because she's hot. I really
Yes.
do.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. But I mean, I think she's a great person. Her demeanor, her personality, you know, she's
yeah, that's what
she's
I'm
got a
saying. Yeah.
boyfriend. They everything she does, he's a part of. He's
Yeah,
right there. He's in her
And
life.
vice versa. They're extremely supportive. It's a great couple.
Yes.
She just
So it's
happens
not
to be a
fake.
heartthrob. And, she happens to be a hottie. And so
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
oh, screw her. And it's like, okay. And
That's not how she is or it is or
and
anything.
she's not, I mean, she's not ugly. There are
No,
definitely uglier
she's
women on the
popular.
planet. But I mean, like, get over it. Like, after you get used to watching Paige, you don't really see her like, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you
I mean, she's
you
just a
see that
normal
she's hot,
person.
but yeah, you
She's a
more look at her
normal
like a fighter,
person.
and you're like, go girl, fight. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want to see you kick some ass. Like,
Yep. Like her and
Just saying.
Jackie. I mean, I love her and Jackie.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
You know, as people. I mean, and they both have like families and you know, they're just all of them are normal flipping people that are in it. And see, that's the thing. Paige, I think when she was in UFC and doing all that stuff and stuff, she was like Hollywood then, right?
Mhm.
Now, so she dropped her Hollywoodness and came down to the slap to help it, and it did immensely. But it also, here's the thing, it gave Paige a chance just to be Paige. There's nothing, there's no big show pre-fight, getting ready, getting posters, signing all those thousands and thousands of people. No. Paige just gets to be Paige amongst all the girls there, you know, and be herself and go out and slap and go home.
Fair.
You know, I think it's more real the way it is. You know, but it's Hollywood still. It's higher up than SFC.
Right.
You know, and I think that's the thing about SFC. It touches the common man and now is also out there touching bigger things. It's growing, getting bigger. And maybe that's where it belongs. It's just the SFC. Maybe it doesn't belong in like power slap. You know? I think maybe it just needs to be one.
Yeah. Agreed.
Or a league. Somehow. That's what I think. I mean, I think that would be awesome. Because the fighters in SFC are every bit as good as the fighters in power slap.
I agree. I don't disagree
Every
with that
bit.
at all. It's and
If not better.
I'm
In some weight classes.
You better kill me. I'ma be another rapper dead for popping off at the mouth with shit I shouldn't have said.
I don't want to just completely continue repeat myself, but once again, I keep defaulting to the quality of the product is the issue. And that's something that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but
the audio was horrible though this time. The audio, I mean,
the quality of the product is the issue and that it's not there. Period. I'll say I wish I could have a meeting with the dude and I'd tell him, I'll be like, look, man, as somebody who knows what it takes to really grow this stuff, man, if you're running it like, a backyard brawl, you know what I mean? If you're not getting the sponsors to long-term support and the community involvement, you know what I mean? If you're not doing that stuff, if you're making it hard the day after the fight for anybody to find any clips of what happened, you know what I mean? If you're not doing those things that you need to be doing consistently, updating the website, blowing it up and that kind of thing, if you're not doing that consistently, if you're not giving us enough of that, if you're doing a little bit of that, but not enough of it, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting the sport, you're hurting your own pocket. You know what I mean? The reason, and everybody knows this, but the reason Dana White took the UFC from a guy wearing one boxing glove fighting a sumo wrestler to the biggest and fastest growing multi-billion-dollar sport in the world was because of how he framed the product, what he turned it into, what he made it look like. That and The Ultimate Fighter, getting more, which we've also said here, getting more involved with the fighters themselves, as far as pub, press. Like we just said, you can just link your website to these guys doing all the work, right? And so all of the SEO and all of the effort to sell tickets you do to connect to these fighters with the fans, they're doing most of the work for you. You don't need, they have Instagram and a phone now. You don't need to send out $100,000 production crew with 2 cameras and a producer and a sound mixer. You don't need any of that. They're doing all of that. All you need is a decent guy who knows a little bit about website design, and you can quadruple your audience. So, and that's good for the fighters. And that's, that's what I always look at. So, I go back to quality of product is going to make the difference. And somebody's going to figure that out. Somebody's going to put together a real quality of product. But then, hey, brother, I could be wrong too. Because I think, that's what Scott and Bellator had. The quality of the product itself, not the fighters, not the actual fights, which were great. I mean, they had France. I mean, come on. So, and they had Mighty Mouse. They had one of the best fighters to ever live do some amazing stuff in the Bellator ring. Yeah. However, it didn't. So there was nothing wrong with Bellator. So I could be wrong in everything I'm saying. I just believe that if we're gonna give Slap Fight any kind of real long-term, legitimate respect and hold, where we can get TV deals and that kind of thing, unless Power Slap is going to really step up, it's going to have to be somebody else figuring out, you got to frame it like this, but do the work on the backside. That's my thought.
There was an announcement today about Slap Fight Championship.
About the Beavis and Butthead thing?
Yeah. And I take it seriously because, I mean, he tagged Paramount and all this. So I think it's real. I don't think it's a joke.
No, it's a great thing. I don't think it's bad advertising at all. How many tickets is that going to sell, though?
But he doesn't sell tickets.
They do, though.
No, they don't.
They don't sell tickets to their events?
No.
Okay.
I believe he gives them away.
Okay.
I did not get charged. Mine was free of charge. I got emailed a thing, and it was an invite, and that was my ticket. And
like a Greg Gutfeld or something where you have to be on a list, and then if you're on the list,
yes, exactly,
you get in.
Okay,
fair.
Exactly, because there's a list.
Well, that leads me to then there's the glaring question, man. I might be getting in real trouble here, but how is this a business? How are we making money, dog? There's no sponsors.
Yeah, I think
there's no ticket sales. There's definitely not enough internet traffic to, you know what I mean? YouTube sponsorship, that kind of thing. There's definitely not enough internet traffic to fund an operation of that size, and then Slap Fight or Chest Chop and additional operations. So where's the what's the move? What are we doing, guys? Where's the
What's
the growth strategy here?
The whole growth strategy, they built that whole place, the fighters did. That entire studio, that whole place, all the cameras, everything is what the fighters built.
That's not a growth strategy, bro. That's inventory. That's growth strategy and inventory aren't the same thing in running a business.
That's the first step to getting it to be a business. That's the model here.
The model is okay, wait.
Yeah. You took the profits. Everybody was in on it.
But what profits from where? If you don't sell tickets to events, you don't have sponsors, and you're not getting the online hits and views to get the money. What profit from what product did we sell over what it cost us to produce it? COGS. What product that the COGS, right, of it had extra in there that we labeled as profit and then invested into other things? When? Where?
Maybe he does sell, but I mean,
no, I know, but that studio is not big enough. The amount of people, what does it hold? 100, maybe, I'm guessing. Looks like about 100 in there.
No.
I don't look. I've just seen it from YouTube, so it's hard to tell. And the
Yeah, I
lighting
mean,
is
it's not a huge crowd,
but
but
from what I'm
well,
seeing, it's like, okay, so fair. But even if you sold 100 tickets at $100 a piece, that's not enough money to fund that operation. Not the way it needs to be funded. That's not enough money to fund one event that evening. The way
I
it needs
just
to
think
be
it's all
funded.
about the future. I do. I think they're building for the future as an entire group,
That's brilliant.
and
I love that.
they're welcoming the people they're welcoming back in, and then they want to make it bigger and go places and do things. They went to Coachella for the chest chop. And then they're just they are a family. That group is. I mean, they're very, very, very strict on who gets to be a part of it and who doesn't. But they stay together and they built this together, and I think they're looking at the future and making it bigger, and then make money from it. That's what I think. I think it's a future plan. I think there's a long haul.
Why are we avoiding the current question that I keep asking, though?
What's that?
Where's this money coming from? It costs money to go to Coachella. It costs money to put on slap fight competitions.
There's some
It costs money to fund a family rolling deep together. Where's this money coming from? And how much is it costing?
partners.
And where's this money coming from? And how much is it costing? And how much on paper is it costing? And how much are the fighters getting paid? And how much of their health care is getting paid? And how much is being reinvested?
Oh,
back into them?
I know their hospital is taken care of. The night I was there, somebody had to go to the hospital.
I'm not talking about it. Okay, I know.
But what? But I mean,
You're still not answering the question. You're doing the thing.
No, I don't understand what your question is, because I think I give them.
Okay, where's the money coming from? I'll ask it for the 10th
his
time.
partners. I said it. His partners. That's it. Period.
Private investors.
Yes.
Okay.
Period. That's it. I mean, I stood next to one.
No word. Hey, I'm not hating on private investors. I want private investors. If you got a
They were
private
there
investor,
watching.
if you got a private investor looking to send his money somewhere, tell him to call or DM us. We got you, baby. You know what I mean? We crank out the stuff. So yeah.
And then he has his own money he invests in it. I mean, it's that's why it's a family thing, because it's kind of self-funded.
I hear you, man, but those boats can only stay in the water for so long.
I know, that's why mine's under.
There has to be something. Look, man, look.
No, I know, but I mean, I've done it. I've tried it. I watched it. I've done it, and it didn't work. I hope it works for them, but my scheme, it didn't. On a smaller scale, but that's the angle I do believe it is. I think it's a true wholesome.
Look, man,
fuck the man.
The major concern to me, but fair. The major concern to me is, pay for the fighters, and the fact that they don't get paid much at all, and their long-term health care is not being paid for, and their day-to-day health care is not being paid for. So with all of that in mind, right? If they're getting paid less than they would make in a month at a day job to take these hits, right? And it's not one of those, I can do this 4 times a year and make enough to feed I can make $100,000. I could get 25 grand per fight, which should be like the league minimum, in my opinion. But however, if it's not like I can make 24, 25 off one fight, then we need to change that or work on focus on that. The way you do that is to get more money into the sport. And if people what concerns me is I've got OPM, right? I've got other people's money. I got OPM. I got a pocket full. I'm doing this thing that makes me feel like the man and gets me access and clout, but I'm not doing anything to maintain it long term. I'm not doing anything to shield myself from potential lawsuits. I'm not doing anything to run this like a business that I would like to see one day be a major industry brand across the planet. Huh?
He owns the licenses. He owns everything. He owns licenses that go through all power slap fights. There is a board, like a fight board on boxing.
Yes.
There's a power slap. Not power slap. There's a slap fighting board. JT owns it. He ran it. He made the rules for it. It's his. You know, they fight under his rules, under his regulations. And then they
Word.
put their own tweaks on it. Their own little tweaks.
My point stands, dude.
Where do they get their money?
That if it's down to a couple of private investors, people are only going to privately invest for so long. And this is not it's fine.
I did it till I had nothing left.
Is profit an indicator of success?
No.
Yes. Okay. In most business classes, they would teach you that if you create a product, bring it to market, and sell a lot of it and make money, that is a successful endeavor.
Mike.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Mike, stop. Listen. How successful did you think I was?
No,
no, stop.
We're not talking about.
Did you think I was?
We're not talking about. Listen, first of all, that's apples and oranges because you at least present yourself as successful, and you are more successful than you give yourself credit for. But that's a whole nother story.
But that's why I say that
I don't want to do a 3 hour. I don't want to do a 3 hour show. However, you at least present yourself as successful, and guess what? You also put out quality work. Do you think the cards you put out are quality work?
Oh, they're amazing.
Okay, great. So, if you sent out cards and they were dirty, if you created a card and it was dirty, or it was misspelled, you know what I mean, or ink was run, right? And it was, well, the idea behind it is brilliant, and the artist is brilliant, but the final product just doesn't live up to snuff, doesn't really compete with the others in the industry. Would that be a fair thing to say to you? And if you didn't make a profit off of that product because it wasn't up to snuff, that would be a different story. Now, if we're going to compare you to what I'm saying, that's the fair comparison, right? That's the comparison. You do quality work that increases in value, that people trade on their own for more money. Literally, as we speak right now, people are taking art and creations you have done and making more money off of it than you have ever made off of it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Why? Because you did quality work as a quality artist and a good businessman to a certain extent.
Yeah, there's just that.
Not that was the goal. Not that when you put this together, you're like, I'm going to be a businessman. You're like, no, I'm going to create something beautiful and awesome and hopefully feed myself. So, yes.
Well, and hopefully be a part of something.
Yeah.
That's what it was, man.
So my point there, if you see the point I'm making, right, is that, you know, and it just goes back to that again, is that in my opinion, when I would look at anything like this, and if I'm looking at bringing investors into something like this, the very, very first thing, if I have it to show, because a lot of times you don't, right? A lot of times all you have to show is loss, proof of concept, great idea, good team, all of that kind of stuff. However, if you have the option to show profit with investors and growth models and TV deals and things of that nature, if you have the option to show profit, you lead with that. Hey, look how profitable we are. If you put your money, we make money grow. We will make your money grow the way we've made this money grow. Invest in us, right? So the first thing you want to lead with as a success indicator is profit.
Yeah,
right.
People with money like to talk about their money.
If you're not attempting even to make profit at all, like you don't even have a product you're trying to make a profit on to show profit, to show a wise investment to potential investors. Do you see what I'm getting at here, dog, or am I missing you?
You're on a different frequency with that than my frequency. You know, you throw a high value in the ladder of that grouping of things that builds this on the financial end. You really do.
No, I don't. The world does. The planet does.
Okay.
The fighters do. The fighters who go get their ass kicked to feed their kids versus deliver pizzas or unload backs of trucks, who are hoping that this is the thing for them, that have that dream, that live on social media and give up chunks of their life and their health and their time just to entertain us. And because they love it, an indicator of success is if they can feed their families with this thing. And that's what I'm looking at. So the problem with me is I'm a guy with vision, People without vision don't like me because I scare them, because vision scares people. I am more like Dana White, right, than I am, say, John Jones or a fighter. I think much more like Dana White. I think I think 5 moves ahead. I think to myself, if I have a business here that is meant to make a club culty thing happen for a few people and they throw it up on the internet and it's not that big of a deal, yet you have thousands of people and hundreds of dudes who are giving their life and health and time with their family and careers up to pursue this, they deserve some security. They deserve some solidity. They deserve something more. And if they're fighting for an organization or promotion, that promotion deserves for them to have a growth plan in place to say, if you give us this, as we grow, you will grow with us. You will do better as we do better. And if that's not their goal as a promotion, I don't think they're going to be around very long, period. The end on that. I'm done.
Okay. Cool.
Am I wrong to you?
I think you're intense about it.
I think that there are
About
success
the world being
measures.
that way, and then business, and then it's not going to work in this kind of environment. It's not saying that it wouldn't work in a different environment, but in this world and the way that things work right now today with money and finance and business and where you got to go and who you have to connect with and who you have to show and what you have to show and the level you have to show it at. Yeah, I mean, you're right, but who gives a fuck?
I care about the fighters. That's the only
Well,
reason.
the fighters. Yes, period. You're right. But as far as like the business and however they run it and stuff like that,
How do you
treat
think the fighters get paid, bro?
Hey,
How do you think the fighters get paid?
dude, we gotta slow everything down because this has been this game since Ali. This has been what the fight game's been since Ali. They don't take care of shit. No producer, no promoter, nobody has ever taken care of their fighters unless they became announcers afterwards.
Or they became so big it was in their contract. They could demand it. You know what I mean? You are providing a team of doctors for me or I don't fight. And it's like, well, for you, Mike Tyson, okay. For you, John Jones, okay. But yeah.
Exactly. But go through the list. In the last 50, 60, 70 years since the beginning of fighting and boxing. That's all that has to be said. What, you want that to change now in this sport? You want Power Slap to be the sport to change that?
Yeah. I'm allowed to ask.
You are.
I'm allowed to demand better for the fighters. And as any negotiation, I'm allowed to ask and demand the stars and the moon. And you know what? If they get to a mountaintop because I fought for the stars and the moon, we win. Still a win. But at the end of the day,
history repeats itself.
But at the end of the day, a lot of times the guy who is the quote unquote bad guy is the guy who loves it the most. And the guy who's like, look, man, everybody's enjoying eating at this table, but I'm saying the food's about to run out. And when everybody's starving and they're like, shut up. This food is so good. Shut up, Mike. Shut up, man. Hey, man, this is just love and fun and deliciousness. And shut up. I'm like,
I don't want
okay, great. But the food's about to run out. And then we're going to turn on each other and start eating each other because that's what happens. And you know why? Because I've been around long enough to know how this happens.
Can't you smell it right now, though, in the air? Can't you, though? I mean, for real. Like, there's blood in the water right now.
Hey man, I'm interested to see how everything works. I'm interested to see how it goes. I personally think the OGs, if you're smart, it's like anything else in a rapidly changing environment. There's two kinds of there's two kinds of people, the people that succeed and the people that fail. You succeed by adaptation. If you've been in this from the beginning and you understand this sport from the beginning and you've been a true fan and a true follower from the beginning and you know some people, then if you're smart, you'll know how to, harness those relationships and that benefit and that love to grow an audience and to benefit those you work with and the fighters you love and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If not, and you sit and just eat the sour grapes and go, I wish it was not what it is. Well, I wish a lot of things weren't what they were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that don't change it. And I can choose to be on the train that rolls out the station, or I can choose to sit on the bench and be mad if it's not the train I want.
Yeah,
So,
no, and you do, man. Yeah, absolutely every right to bring up, the questions and the concerns for the fighters every bit. I just want to throw in just the basic fact of history in this sport and in sports in general. It is like the Roman days. It is like the Colosseum. It's just not an instant death. It's a death over time.
sure.
It's exactly like the Roman Colosseum.
Oh, yeah.
Only we just call it a different thing. We don't throw animals in there yet. And we, let them die at 55, 50.
I'm not
60.
gonna I'm not gonna say whether I have or have not ever been to chicken fights, cockfights they call them, and they're big in Hawaii. I can say they are big underground in Hawaii. Also, they may or may not be really awesome, but we're
dude.
not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm way against dog fighting.
Dude,
That's disgusting. But chicken fighting,
dicks touching each other. Two dicks like being lightsabers. Yeah, cockfighting. That is fucking awesome.
yes. And from what I've heard, I've
Swords.
never seen it, and I'm not gonna seek it out.
Don't you tell me, bud. Don't
I
you
love
tell
it.
me.
I love it. I love it.
Just at arm's length, even.
Cock of the walk, baby.
That's right. What do we say here in this house? Nowhere else. But in this house.
Don't you live alone?
Yes, I do. But
Somebody say
Apollo.
we.
Yeah, I got Apollo. We.
Well, okay,
It's a
fair.
we.
Absolutely.
I talk to that
Absolutely.
son of a bitch.
That is fair. That
We
is
don't
fair.
listen sometimes. I mean, I literally sometimes have to scream at the top of my lungs in the living room while he's just laying there to get him to look at me. I'm like, Apollo. Hey, Apollo, yo, you want to play? Hey, Apollo, where's the blue ball? Hey, Apollo, where's your bone? Apollo! And then he'll just raise his head and then go back to sleep. He's kind of an asshole.
That is
Kind of an
great.
asshole. He's not very talkative.
Hey, man, he's got his own thing going.
Yeah, he does. He has his own groove here. We jive.
probably-
We have our moments where we're just grooving along, playing ball and playing.
I bet
bone.
if you you went out back, he's got his own bone collection, dog bone, milk bone collection, and he
T-shirt.
trades them on doggy internet, and you know what I mean. He's got the green. He's like,
Backyard.
dude, I've got the green minty milk bone, and somebody else is like, yeah, well, I've got the mesquite flavored milk bone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got his bones right up there, and he's got cookies, dog cookies. Right now, he's right here, sitting outside on the concrete patio, making sure nobody is going to invade from the alleyway.
Yeah, well, you had a visitor earlier today, so he's probably extra on guard. He's like, oh, somebody's already been by. Energy's high today.
Yeah, 'cause I
Pops
did
is on a
ask him that.
podcast. He's putting out. Pops is putting out the energy
But
today.
I
We
tell
had a
him that
visitor. Lots going on. Doggy's got to be alert. I get
he
it.
knows every Wednesday. I tell him when I'm showering and getting ready as he's waiting. I'm like, hey, yo, today's showtime. We got podcast day. Red light on. Do not disturb on air. So you're gonna have to behave and just chill right here next to me. And then on Fridays, I'm like, all right, bro. Time for Moo Mesa. You're gonna have to chill. Behave yourself. It's Moo Mesa day. Thursdays, it's
Heavy.
like, yo, dog, you gotta spend a couple hours alone. It's treatment day. So you're gonna have to just hang out in your kingdom back there in the jungle. But yeah, I mean, we got a little routine, and it's a we. Because everywhere I go, other than treatment, he goes
Nice.
everywhere.
Nice.
He went to Branson with me.
Hell yeah. I bet that was great. I bet that was
Well,
fun.
it was. Road tripping with your dog.
Absolutely.
All over the nation. That you can beat that. And then you stop at these beautiful rest stops, and you take your dog out, and you walk, and let them play and stretch. And yeah, dude. I mean, it's a we.
Hey, yeah, man, I'm about to go on a big old road trip, so I'm actually looking without a dog, but
But yeah, your road
I'm
trip.
looking forward to the
The group that you have.
Yeah, man, I'm going up to a part of the country that unless you plan to go there, you usually probably won't just go by there, and that's that, northern Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming area. So yeah, man.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Looking forward to that for sure. So
There's some good smoke growing in that area. Just saying.
I don't even know if I know anybody that's down, but if they are,
I
hit
think it's
me up.
Golden Triangle.
Yeah, absolutely,
Cruising right through the Golden Triangle area. I mean, not like actually to that point. I'm just saying, that generalized area. I'm not saying you're going to go there.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to Green Mountain or nothing, So, stick to the Ferris wheels.
Dude, I live on Green Mountain, son. What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's where people underestimate you.
Where
As far as like probably your person, they underestimate.
it's fine. I'd prefer to be
Would you say that though? Would you say that? Until you start getting involved with them.
Yeah, and I, more than that, and you being a major exception, but a rare exception at that. But I just think, bro, like you, we've just lived too much of a life, and the way we look at things is just so different than the average person. They just don't understand you. And when you don't understand somebody, you have to default to what you're comfortable with seeing them as versus allowing them to exist as they are and working on you accepting that. Instead of you admitting, because it's such a process to look at somebody and go, I don't fully understand them, so I'm going to lock them in this box and not allow them to come out of this box and then commit to them being this. And then say they're this to other people, regardless of who they actually are. Instead of going, I'm trying to do this and that's wrong, and I need to work on my own preconceived notions and prejudices and allow them to exist as who they are and understand they might have a lot more experience than I'm giving them credit for. Not everyone is me. Some people have been poorer than me and know more than me. Some people have been richer than me and are dumber than me. Some people have been bigger than me, shorter than bop. I am not everyone and everyone is not me. And this is what frustrates me the most, right? About like social media. Everybody thinks they know why Elon Musk is doing what he's doing and the president is doing what he's doing and the last guy was doing what he. Everybody thinks it's like, dude,
nobody knows.
Bro, you work at Sam's Club. You know what I mean? You're an electrician, or okay, you got a fancy office job. You still are not a billionaire. Until you are a billionaire, you don't understand how a billionaire thinks. Neither do I. I would love to, but I don't.
But it don't mean that billionaire knows shit.
And I'm not saying they do, but I'm saying to assume that they're stupid, which is what drives me the most crazy, because you don't understand what they're thinking does not mean they're stupid. So if you were to say underestimate, I would say that people just don't know how to take me and don't understand me because they estimate that I'm like them. They're this, and so I must be this too. They have no idea where I've come from. They don't understand.
That's right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's where I'm talking about the underestimation comes in.
Yeah.
Where they get blindsided because they don't know that part that's inside you, that's made you who you are.
Well, to give you an example, right? Most people who watch a sitcom don't think there are 12 writers and 4 producers who put this all together. And then there's lighting and cameras that told them where to sit, what to wear, what to say it, how to deliver it. Director. There was 2 directors, a first AD and a main director. And pop. No one thinks about that. They think, I never saw this person on TV. They must be nothing but. It's like, okay. But I promise you that you're going to get a lot more done at the UFC talking to not Dana White initially. If you walk in going, I want to see Dana White, they're going to laugh you out the freaking building. If you don't know the names of the people to get you there and how to work with them and build those relationships, you know what I mean? Get out.
Even when you build those relationships, it might not work out.
For the better of everyone. However, or worse. But regardless of that, the point is most people don't look at the world that we think because I watch TV and I have a phone and look at the internet, I know all about it. No, you don't. You have no idea.
I saw I saw a title on a video as I was scrolling through YouTube deciding what to watch. I read the title,
Right.
and that's where my information came from.
Exactly. And that's I read a headline.
Yeah, the headlines on those YouTubes.
You know
That's
what I
where they
mean?
get their info.
I read a headline and now I formed a complete opinion on a topic off of the headline.
Factual one. It's factual.
It's like, what? What are you
Yeah.
doing? So
Exactly.
I guess in that way, but yeah, no, man, more than anything, it's just like you. It's like people don't know how to take us. We've lived more than one life. Some people will do one of the things we've done their whole life, and that be the biggest deal they ever do.
Mm.
I'm sure you sit and listen to people tell stories about the biggest event that happened in their life, and you're like, oh, I have 12 of those. But you would never do that to them, and you don't mean it in an asshole way. You don't mean to be mean, or you're not better than them in any way, but their biggest deal that's ever happened to them, you can tell 12 of those stories of that exact same or very similar things happening to you.
That's when I shut up.
Yeah.
That's when I don't say anything except how happy I am for them.
Yeah, exactly. Then you get into their joy.
Yep.
And to me, a lot of times I'm like, see, man, you're like that hooker that's just raw, just numb. You could take 12 and wouldn't even be smoking a cigarette, just whatever, boys.
Yeah, dude.
Hurry up and finish up. You know what I mean?
Trojan free.
Just you've had so much experiences. You're just
Raw dog me, bud. Raw dog me. Make me air fucking tight.
It might take 3, but I'm
hair dog, Raya tight. Whatever I said.
Our show always descends at the end of it, but that's okay. I'm not mad.
I start crumbling. Raw dog me.
No, we both do.
And make me airtight. What the fuck is that?
Anyhow.
I know what that is. I'm just saying, how did that happen?
Right.
Out of my mouth. Dude, that guy that says I was gay Santa Claus is going to love that one.
He's not around today.
Oh, damn it.
No haters in the chat today. So,
dude, they were live last week. They were fire.
No, man, but no haters. I think we scared them off. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? So,
hey, that's where I take. That's a prideful thing for me. You got haters. You're doing something right.
Absolutely. Or what if they listened in and decided they liked us? And when your haters become your congratulators, but they build their life on hate, they got to go away. So you can stick around and congratulate and support, or you can go away. Because when you listen, you realize we bring you the real and the raw. And we're just two dumb dudes. And we're honest about it. And we could have done better in life, and we could have done far worse. And we busted our ass to be the best people we can be. And that's who we're being right now. And we're hoping you dig the journey and we share it with you. Challenges, struggles, bumps, bruises, scratches, scrapes, and all.
Because no matter what it is, we are happy with where we're at. That's why we're happy.
Well,
we talked about how we've got.
I'm accepting where I don't know if happy would be the term, but I'm accepting of where
I'm happy.
Good.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
I've told you I'm happy.
Love for me. I'm happy.
Anyway, I love it. I love it.
So awesome, dude.
Hard man. Other than Friday with me, unraveling the mysteries, conspiracies, and deeper meanings behind the Cowboys of Moo Mesa Season 1. What do you got coming up? What do you want the people to know?
Big thing. Big. Just verified right before the show. Checks in the mail. Pictures have been sent to me for the Oklahoma team. So that is verified for the I want to say Middlebury or Middlebury area, school area, something like that. But it's a traveling team from that area, right outside Oklahoma City.
Nice.
So yeah, and the discussion also is that I need to keep the tradition of who I am up. So it was talked about me hand delivering the cards to the team, just like I do in Vegas for the slap fighters, like I did in Branson for Frank and Mark.
For the other slap fighters.
Yes. Yeah. So it'd be treating this team exactly like those industries.
Nice.
So I think that's probably a good idea. So
Where's Mulberry? Where in
or
Oklahoma?
whatever it starts with it's I'll have to text it to you.
But I mean, like, do you know what city in Oklahoma?
Well, they live out in the rural. They live out in country. Her dad owns a big ranch, so they live out in the country outside of Oklahoma City. But it's obviously close enough that my buddy's complaining because his brother-in-law has tickets and ain't taking him to any of the games. Yeah. So
That's very cool. No, because Oklahoma's big. And
Yeah.
if you're outside of the Oklahoma City area, you're probably within an hour of me drive, no matter what.
Yes.
But like if you're outside of the Tulsa area, you could be a 4 or 5 hour drive from me.
Yeah, no,
If you're the Panhandle, you could be a 6 hour drive. Yeah,
No.
man. So people
No,
understand
they're
how big
close. They're
Oklahoma
close.
is. Yeah.
Because he runs a business where he cleans people's trash cans for him.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
Him.
So what
So
if he's in probably maybe Yukon or Mustang or something like that? So,
bro,
but yeah,
you
we'll
know
figure it
where
out, man. We'll put it together. If you're coming, hell to the man, we'll do some
it
live
sounds like I
shit.
may be.
When would you be coming?
It'd be June.
Please don't say June 11th to the 18th. Just not June 11th to the 18th.
I actually think it is the 18th, and I think it's
I'll
the
be
18th.
back on the 18th. So
That's when the 18th is the
or
season.
I head back on the 18th, not back till the 19th.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd be that in that time, like the 17th through like a 5 or 6 day deal.
Okay. Rock on.
So I'll say you'd be around when I was around.
Yeah,
So I'd be close enough to,
I haven't gone anywhere in a year practically. I mean, I've made runs, but I haven't made a long run in well over a year, and possibly years have I done anything more than one nighters or two nighters. And I finally make this trip and have this plan. And you're like, oh, this is exactly when this thing is happening. I'm like, of course. Life always gonna.
How it goes? Just shit just falls in, and life just rolls, and I just roll with the waves.
But hey, man, the groovy parties will roll in on the 19th. You know what I'm saying? We'll hang out. So
yeah, we'll go to a Starbucks. Go to a Target. Go to a Target that has a Starbucks.
Maybe the 20th. We'll figure it out, dog. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but I'm sure I will be in the area because that will also be then the time that my friends can get things boxed up, get things in the rental place out back.
Sure.
storage,
Yeah.
and get ready to get the house for sale. They said they needed 4 days. So, in June then this all fits in. It's the universe saying, yo, boom, put it together, work it, do it.
That'll be fun, dude. That'll be fun. And we could do some live. It'll be awesome. So that'll be crazy.
That would be fucking crazy.
I'm almost at this point. I don't do live shows with another person with me, and I've done them, but it's almost weird at this point to think about. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to adjust because you get very comfortable in your own little zone. You know what I mean? You get very comfortable in your own zone. So,
well, that's why we don't do it in the zone.
The auto zone. I'm joking. I don't know why.
No, that would be rad. Find a culvert. Find a big culvert.
And let's do a podcast in an auto zone. I love it. Yes, I'm in. You know what I mean? So
sitting just in the parking lot with a tape, like a folding table.
Man, if you come over, because my boy DJ Sexual Chocolates does have a great house set up for this kind of stuff, and he has a great computer setup and stuff. So if you came out, we probably put Chocks on, and it'd be me, you, and Chocks doing a live. That would be hella fun. That would be hella good.
That would be insane.
And he has a great studio room, so he just needs a studio put together, and kind of waiting on me for that. But a lot of people are waiting on me for a lot of things, buddy.
I don't wait on you. I just do what you tell me to do.
No, you're the easiest of all of them. You're like, I'm just gonna show up and talk. So it's all good.
It's all good not having a job.
So you got a lot going on. You got the cards. You're going to be working on the cards. What else are you going to be doing?
So actually, the check should be here today. I'll make the prints tomorrow. I'll get to cutting, and to be honest, it's been since March since I've cut a card.
Nice.
I went on a vacation.
Sure.
Which is going to be great for this set of cards because it's going to be amazing with the product they get. So I'm excited. That's going on. And then here in town, actually, the National Gravel Bike Races Championship is going on. Gravel pedal bike race, like 10 speeds on gravel. Nice. Since we're in the country and we got all these dirt roads and stuff and the scenery and the monument, they are having the national championship here, brother. That's like our Super Bowl. So we got that going on too. Nice. I won't be a part of it. I won't be a part of it unless the route happens to go by my house. I don't think it does. But it is going on.
Dog. Hold on. Pause. Did you just really break down an entire event going on in your town that you're not even going to go to or be at or have anything
Hell
to do?
For the fuck yeah.
You're like, and it's awesome. I'm like, oh, cool. And waiting for you to hit it with that. And I'm going to be doing A, B, or C there. I'm going to be a judge. Or I'm just going to be hanging out. And you're like, I'm not going to be a part of it unless they drive right by my house and I look out the window. But, you know.
How awesome is that? I'm a funny motherfucker.
It's great. It's great.
With a small mouth.
Specific questions. What do you have going on?
Well, it is going on.
No,
it's not what I have, but it's going on around me.
Hey, it's okay. We're not
in the general area.
We're not sticklers.
I'm trying to help Scottsbluff tourism. Shit, they're in a hole. They're having a bad time.
You do what you can. You do what you can with what you have.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to help them with, at least 3 or 4 people might see it and look up Scottsbluff tourism.
Make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world. Awesome.
They ain't gave me shit for that, just so you know. That just came off the top of my head.
I'm going to try to run through the gauntlet of the PT pod in. We're going to go as short and quick as possible. And ready and all right, guys, this is the PT Pod Breakdown. Every Tuesday night starting out at 8 p.m. Central, you have Power Slap Time featuring Superfan 1, The Man, and myself, Slapmaster Mike. Every Wednesday, it's that NoOner show, noon Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Central Time. You have that NoOner show with me and the Cardman that you're currently watching right now. We are white trash esoteric. Little bit of homespun wisdom, little bit of dumb guy stupidity, but all the love and hopefully all the honesty. Thursdays, you have the PT Pod, the OG show that started it all. And that's me in a one-on-one. And sometimes with my partner, DJ Sexual Chocolate, will drop in and we have an interview with who we like to consider to be a local celebrity or hero. And then one of our favorites every Friday afternoon, once again, this is at 11:30 Mountain, 12:30 Central. It's that NoOner Show watch along, and currently we are doing the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. It is amazing. It is fun. It is viral. People are loving it. We watch a great 90s cartoon and Crackwise. Come join in Crackwise with us, please. We need you. And finally, Saturdays is always a mega stream where you get to get caught up on all things PT Pod. Put it on as you're doing stuff around the house. Put it on as you're mowing the lawn. Pop it in your earphones and listen to some of the awesome podcasts we do. And that is the PT Pod channel lineup. And then PT Pod Show on Instagram. We dump clips, baby. We have clips of all our shows. Awesome clips. Gives you a great taste and a great sampling of what we're doing. So you go to the main channel specifically and hopefully on Rumble. But we love YouTube as well. And drop us a line. Let us know. Please like, share, and subscribe. We love you, and we mean it. And I am your co-host, Slapmaster Mike, and on the other side, it's...
Cardman! Bird White! Giving you my heart.
And remember to
you.
wait, I have to pause.
I love you.
I appreciate the Roman salute, I guess. Yes.
I love you.
To you get the pew, pew, pew. Thank you for tuning in. And we are out.
Oh boy!